Controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. N-I-C-K, mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air. Cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jonesing for your fix of that dabble politics mix. And where the fudge you at, punk? Shut the fudge up and back the fudge up while we fudge this track up. Pull your flags up, pull your flags up. Pull your flags up, pull your flags up, pull your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what's in for the ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time, so you better get some better views and get saved up on your dime. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabblers blasting out the political shit. The back and forth shit, put bounce in the dabble pit. Pull your flags up, pull your flags up, pull your flags up, pull your flags up, pull your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you're gonna ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 Hey ladies, where you at? Hey fellas, where you at? And the dabblers that don't give a fuck, where you at?
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Dabbling in Politics, episode number 26, I believe. I was OG Mumbling Nick, but now Kevin Brennan has anointed me Mumbling Prick, so I'll go with that for at least a week. Then I'll switch back. But yeah, I'm Mumbling Prick, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Liquid Cryptid. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing well, and I'm just going to go ahead and dead name you and keep calling you Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot, dude. I literally right when I went to say it, I was like, "Oh, I still have that up." I put that up as a joke for yesterday, and forgot to take the blanket down too. So I'll just leave that up. Fuck it. Echo always says I should leave it up anyway. Be like my branding. But
the guy with the blanket on the window.
Yeah.
I mean, the mask and the hoodie isn't enough. You got to have the blanket on the window
gotta have the blanket,
for branding. Yeah.
I'll never forget. I forget who it was. It might have been Metal. It was somebody. They only really watched me on Echo's show, which is always in the afternoon, so I had to put that up. The first time they watched one of my own shows at night, they're like 20 minutes in, like, "Hey, where the fuck's the blanket?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't need it. I don't need it at night. It actually serves a purpose. It's not just an ugly thing I throw up for fucking no reason." Anyway, thank you guys from if we dragged any of you guys away from TSN, and with John being back and all that shit, I know believe it or not, John was putting a dent in some audiences over the weekend. I noticed poor Echo, whatever show he was doing, when every time John was live, was always the least watched. And then you could tell when John ended, because all of a sudden a bunch of people would show up. So Did you watch John today? I actually didn't catch much of today's. I think I saw like 10 minutes of it.
I watched a little bit of it. I was, I had stuff to do. But you can catch it on my Kick channel if he hasn't. If it's still up. If it's not still up on his channel, you can catch it on my Kick channel. And also, if you look at my YouTube channel, you can get the episode that he put behind the wall the other day.
There you go. Yep. And Liquid Cryptid, all his shit is in the description already. His Kick, his YouTube, his X, all that shit. So check him out. All right. So for those that usually tune in, you may know usually we pick like one or two topics and discuss it. We were talking today, and there's a bunch of shit out there, but there's also nothing out there at the same time. It's like there's nothing major. Yeah, I mean there is, but it's the shit we always talk. The Epstein shit just won't jive, but we've done too many episodes on that, so I don't think we're really going to talk about Epstein shit again unless something major breaks through at some point. There's the tariffs in the Supreme Court, but tariffs are fucking boring. We tried talking about that once, and we were fucking bored the shit. So basically, we're going to talk about a few things. There's we both are intrigued by Richard Ojeda, Army Major, so I let Liquid know that one of the YouTube channels I usually watch, they interviewed Ojeda on their Substack, which I'm not subscribed to, but they did put like 13, 14 minutes of it out on YouTube, so we will watch that. But we're going to open with the Minnesota school shooting, because I actually had some people ask me about that in the comments during the week on the show, so if we were going to cover that. Honestly, I think a lot of it was because Ava's on a lot of times and the shooter was trans and everything, just to see our takes on it. But this one is quite interesting because this shooter, the media or the parties will try and frame it one way or the other, but this person seemed to be all over the place with right-wing propaganda, left-wing propaganda. It's disgusting to say, but it's kind of interesting. This person was fucked in the head 6 ways till fucking Sunday.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had like whole plans planned out, and like you go through some of his journal, and he's like, he idolizes a lot of the other school shooters, and he was just like he wanted to kill as many kids as possible at this Catholic school. Is just it really absolutely fucked in the head. And I would like to go on record that I'm against this.
Yes,
I'm against school shootings.
Yep,
I mean,
100%.
I am a gun guy. And I believe in the Second Amendment, but that kid was fucked.
Yeah, he was.
I mean,
they're
real fucked.
They're always fucked, but this is one you kind of found out was like sometimes it's like a bullying thing. Sometimes it's not that I'm condoning it, but this person was just fucked. It seems like, and let me just see. Metal Richard Ojeda. Oop, I put it down. Richard Ojeda is a pretty dude. Is pretty good. Okay, dude should have trashed Phil Elmore more than Stunt Show tried to get him to trash him. So we actually have an old episode where I showed. I went over with an old interview of Richard Ojeda from like 2016 or something like that. I used to be a Richard Ojeda fan. Like I said, he was always kind of fucked in the head too. Don't get me wrong, but I've said this a million times. He used to push against the Democrats much harder. He used to have very similar beliefs to mine, where kind of like an economic populist, and would go after both the Democrats and the Republicans. He's obviously changed, so yeah. But I there was a good dude in there somewhere. Phil Elmore. I do not get along with Mr. Phil Elmore. I find him interesting, but he's very thin-skinned, and you can't speak against him at all, or he'll just fucking block your ass.
Oh yeah, I knew Phil wasn't going to last long in the Dabbleverse when I watched one video of his, and his intro is, "I have an opinion, and you're going to listen to it." And I went, "No, I'm not." And you're not going to last with that kind of attitude.
So I understand, like, some people, if you don't want to be bombarded with other people's opinions, but the problem with Phil is he is very opinionated. He throws his opinion out, and he would often insult certain people. And if those people, sometimes me, would try to respond back, he didn't want to hear it. It's like, dude, if you're gonna like dish it out, you got to be able to take it. Now, if you're not dishing it out and you just don't want to hear it, I get that. I wouldn't bother you, but you pretty much, your opinion is usually attacking some sort of group or side. And if that group or side tries to defend themselves or give it the opposite opinion, he just blocks them. He doesn't want to hear it. It's fucking weird. Very
Well, he's a lolcow.
Yeah, like, it's unfortunate because he seems fairly intelligent. I think I don't know about this martial arts shit, but I've heard he doesn't know what he's doing.
Flashlight Fighting. I almost bought that book just for the lulz. I might still do it.
Mr. Blue Sky, yeah, I'm pretty close to 100% sure she didn't do it, but fair enough. Half decent joke, I'll give you that. All right, yeah, we'll start out with that one. So you know what? Actually, stall for me. There's one I was going to show. I wonder if another group covered it. Actually, I'll just play the one I was going to play because I said I know he goes over the. I was thinking I should have looked into whether I told you about breaking points because they have one right. They got what we got, a lefty and a righty, but kind of against corruption. I didn't look to see if they covered it, but I just because I
did. I was thinking about it and then I got caught up in something and totally forgot. Let me. I'll check while you're playing.
Yeah, I'll put up the one I got because the one I did get, like I said, like yes, it's gonna suck a little bit more because he is, he does. This guy, believe it or not, does trash Democrats too. That's why I watch him. But this is like a gun issue thing, so obviously he's gonna sound more biased than usual in his This isn't like totally accurate representation. But I did like how he did. Like I said, he had one of the kids on. They showed like an interview with one of the kids. I think they show a reporter breaking down, but he does go over like almost every single thing, like that was this person, the lefty and the righty shit that this fucked. What's his name? Robin? I can't think of the fucking shooter's name.
Yeah, Robin was Robert.
Robert,
yeah, Robin.
Robin. Gotcha.
And it looks like Breaking Points did do a show about this church shooting. It's 21 minutes long or 22 minutes long.
Oh shit. Yeah, this one's this one's long too. I'm gonna put this at like 1.5 or 1.25. We'll skip some of it. Let's see. Try 1.25. Oops. What the fuck am I doing? It's the only video I didn't have like totally set up. What the fuck is going on? Here we go.
Are you doing all right over there, buddy?
Oh yeah. Fantastic. This is how the sauce is made.
All right, y'all, welcome to the show.
Sausage is
a lot of
made.
serious stuff to talk about here. So in just a second, I'm going to give you the updates on the horrific school shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Then after that, I got some stuff for you on how the Democrats are falling into a trap and they're about to fail miserably unless they reverse course. So we'll talk about that.
Agreed.
I have India's leader humiliating Trump repeatedly and snubbing his phone calls 4 different times. So Trump's in some hot water there. We also have J.B. Pritzker getting wise to the times and threatening Republicans with jail, threatening Trump's regime thugs with jail when Democrats get power again. And then later on...
I hate it. I didn't realize this was his first video. Whatever his first video is, it's like describes what the whole fucking show is about. So it's probably a bunch of bullshit for a full minute here. I didn't realize.
I'm going to talk about how Bill Burr
skip forward a little bit.
Up, and I love Bill Burr. Just Purge is officially subscribed to the channel that helps out for Crystal Kylan friends on y'all to go sub. There's a Catholic, it's both a church and a school. So it's like a Catholic school. And it may have been the first day of school for these people. And somebody showed up and did a mass shooting. And of course, as you all know, in the early hours of these sorts of things, you know, the numbers sort of vary. And what we know for sure is that at least, I believe, 20 people were hit, many of them dead. And we have some horror stories. I'm going to show you some videos in a little bit of a kid who was there when the shooting was happening, and his personal story appears to be a very young kid. I don't know how old he is, but if I had to guess, maybe 7, 8, something like that. And he tells his story. So I'll give you that in just a second. I'll also show you, we have a reporter who was on the scene crying, just straight up bawling, because you saw, you know, the mothers and fathers who were desperately, you know, running and trying to get to their kids to see if their kids are okay. That's just an absolute earth-shattering moment. And so I understand why that reporter broke down. But let's talk a little bit about the shooter. So let's start with this here. Catholic school shooter confirmed to be transgender Robin M. Westman. So birth name was Robert, changed their name to Robin in 2020, I believe it was. So as you can see, we have a picture here. I'm gonna go through. Once we get into the politics of this person, you are gonna be confused.
Yeah,
everybody is confused looking at this person's politics.
Quick. Yeah, I believe, you know, now that we're
I mean all over the map.
Hold on a sec.
So here we have the shooter wore an FSB patch.
Yeah, we're looking at pictures of him. I believe there was a part of the journal that said that he was tired of being trans as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it might have been some of that, where it's just like, if, of course, in those sorts of groups, when you're no longer trans and you get outed, they'll push you directly out of any of those sort of friend or peer groups like that. So there could have been some of that too.
Yeah. Like, look, no matter what where you stand on the trans thing, like, obviously you're gonna have issues. You're gonna have issues that other people don't have. So that could, like you said, fuck you up. Like, yeah, if you even start speaking out against that, you could be alienated. Look, I obviously there's been some issues with Ava lately in us. Like, some more. I mean, more with Liquid. Me is more. I don't know what's up with Ava and me, to be honest with you. But not everyone. To give her flowers, I think she's more. How do I want to say it? She's not like as sensitive about that shit as some of the other trans people. Like, so as you said, if you're going to leave the trans community or speaking out against being you don't want to be trans anymore, you probably would get a lot of flack from especially the more high profile trans representatives. That'd be my guess.
Well, and also, you could be completely leaving an entire, as I said, friend /
Right, yeah,
peer group, and you probably have people like this are already pretty isolated.
Mm-hmm.
They've already pretty much isolated themselves. So and then it could seem like there would be no way to move on or get another peer group or whatever. But the person was already deeply disturbed. So
oh yeah, big time. I take it, Nightwire, I take it from other things I've seen from you, you're not a big fan of Ilhan Omar. Yeah, I actually don't agree with everything she does, but I do like how she rejects corporate PAC money. But I understand that you're probably not a fan. So here we go.
And glorify neo-Nazi mass murders Anders Breivik and Breton Tarrant. So you can see here, this was one of the things that was written down. We'll also get to all the writing on the clips here in a little bit. But look at this one. The Minneapolis shooter was a Nazi. We must do more to protect our kids from these bloodthirsty psychopaths, says Micah Irfan. And as you can see here, so this was one of the things that this person shared on social media. I believe it was in a YouTube video. It says extra thick, and it says Jew gas. Guy Barkus, it says underneath. Okay, more. 6 million wasn't enough, this person said. That is without a doubt a Holocaust reference, saying 6 million Jews killed wasn't enough. I guess this is the same thing. It says Jew gas again. Okay, so that was some of the stuff that was written on the various weapons. We have, this is from Republicans Against Trump. The shooter in Minneapolis has been ID'd as Robin Westman in his early 20s. Videos he posted to YouTube hours before the shooting show multiple weapons, including a semi-automatic rifle and a shotgun. Magazines were scrawled with anti-Semitic messages such as 6 million wasn't enough, Israel must fall, destroy Hayas, H-I-A-S, which is a Jewish refugee aid group. Others were marked with kill Donald Trump and for the children. He sounds like a classic far-right Groyper, says the Republicans Against Trump account. So again, there's a picture of this person. 6 million wasn't enough, destroy Hayas.
So that's a little weird, right? To say, like, don't get me wrong, say like a far right people usually don't put kill Donald Trump. Like, I don't think that was fair. That whatever the fuck that group wrote, like, this person's just fucked. They got a million different things going on. They do have some far right shit. They got some Nazi shit. Then they got some far left shit talking about killing Donald Trump. So yeah.
As I said, just a very, very confused person. Or I wouldn't say confused, but nihilistic and psycho, insane.
Yep, I think if I recall, Young Old Vibes was one of the people asking if we were gonna talk about it. Noga, I don't want to get off track, but I caught like 10 minutes of John. Was you were the tampon, correct? I'm not wrong. And somehow Rob Saul didn't recognize your voice, even though you've been on Rob Saul's show fucking 500 times. Just let me know in the chat.
Kill Donald Trump. R.I.P. and tear. Rest in peace and tear. In this now deleted video,
Rip and
alleged
tear.
Minneapolis church shooter Robin Westman
It's a reference to Doom. Rip and tear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually, okay. Yeah, interesting.
Republican House candidate Brandon Herrera, quote, I met Brandon Herrera at SHOT Show last year. He and I had a brief conversation, but we agreed on a lot of things.
This is that gun.
Yes, and no record of this person ever being at SHOT Show has ever surfaced. They already looked. SHOT Show is more of an industry thing. So you got to have, credentials and stuff to get in. You can't just get in. And nobody with this person's name has ever attended SHOT Show.
Gotcha. Is Brandon?
Brandon Herrera went over it.
Is he the one that kind of tries to stay out of politics and is just into like?
No,
no, he's not.
He's actually running as representative in Texas again.
Right, I'm thinking of somebody else.
He's trying to primary the Republican there that's more of a rhino.
Gotcha. All right, I'm trying to think. I know there's one. There was one that got covered like in some other shooter.
Where that was a Demolition Ranch. Matt Carricker.
Okay,
they are friends.
I couldn't remember.
They both live. Yeah, they both live in the same area. They both live in Bernie, Texas, and they are friends and gun tubers. Obviously, Matt actually recently retired a few months ago from YouTube.
Yeah, that's why we have. That's why we try to cover both sides, people. I am not the gun expert in this group, so or the gun tuber expert. So let's see what Krishan's saying. I'm putting it up before I read it, but I'm sure he has something interesting on this. It just doesn't make sense. He's mad. He was indoctrinated into the transgenderism, so he attacks a Catholic school. I don't believe that was his motive. He was purposely trying to confuse the message. Well, it definitely is fucking confusing, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this guy. This person. Oops, shit. But yeah, so we'll probably get into just briefly after this about the trans connection, because I do think they try every time there's been a shooting lately, a school, they try and say the person's trans, and a bunch of times it hasn't been. But what's ironic is I remember another school shooting where it definitely was a trans person, and I think that was another private Catholic school, if I'm correct. So
there's been about 10 of them in the past 5 years.
Is that what it was? All right,
about 10 school shootings where it was a transgender individual.
All right, see, that even seems higher than I remember. I just remember there was some where they would try and say the person was trans. They're like, no, the person's not trans. But then obviously, I thought it was a few times, but I'll take your word. It's 10. I didn't look into it before this.
Yeah, I as I said, I kind of looked into all this stuff when we decided we were going to talk about it. I just wanted make sure I got them, because these are like things that I seen and heard. Because I don't really dive into this sort of stuff, because there's the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to look at people on both sides with the retarded information and retarded views on things, and it's like it just makes me angry for no particular reason. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, Krishan, the only thing I'll say is all those other school shootings that weren't trans. There's way more that weren't trans. So you can't.
I mean, we could talk about it now since we're already talking about it. My opinion is that it's just the popular expression of the mental illness that makes people want to do this. Currently, it was trilbies and dusters, or it was little trench coats and stuff.
Oh yeah,
before.
Trench coat mafia and all that shit. Yeah.
And now it's going transgender. I think it's just the popular expression of this particular mental illness of wanting to go kill a bunch of kids. Yeah,
and there's usually, like I said, I mentioned earlier, a lot of time there's a bullying aspect. Sometimes they've been bullied. Obviously, this person wasn't bullied by these fucking kids, but since the person's transgender and they're going after a Catholic school, there could be something with Catholic Christians being against LGBTQ. I don't know, but yeah, as you said, there is a mental illness fucking thing definitely fucking going on here. That's you gotta be to shoot fucking little kids. You gotta be fucked in the head, no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, this is a person that, I mean, he had fucking schematics of the place and really and was trying to determine when the best time to do it to kill the most kids would be. Is it going to be recess when they're coming back in so that there's not many adults around and you can shoot them up then, or maybe like a big church event, stuff like that. They're literally writing in the journal about when the best time would be to kill the most kids.
Gotcha. So the percentage of shooter population is insane. Well, maybe recently, but there's been before this all started, there was still a bunch of school shootings, and like none of them were trans. So I actually, if we're gonna say, I don't know, like obviously being trans is some kind of body
It's a mental illness in itself. Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, I feel weird saying that. I don't know, but because I think like you can be born, you can feel like you're a male if you're supposed to be a female and all that stuff. But obviously, yeah, there's something you don't feel right about in the head. So there's something going on. So and I think more people are it's the old left-handed thing. Like back in the day, there were way less left-handed people. Well, there really weren't. It's just being left-handed was deemed as being, you had fucking forget what it was. You were fucked up. You were less than whatever the hell it was. So people hid
The
that.
evil hand, sinister handed.
And then when more people started coming out as gay because that came more acceptable, and now trans. It's obviously there's a side that doesn't think it's acceptable, but the other side does. So you're gonna get more of them too. So it's just that naturally that shit's gonna happen as well. So it's a bunch of shit in my opinion.
So y'all should vote for Brandon Herrera for president. Fuck those kids. I'm not gonna play the video here, but that's what it says in the video. So basically promoting a Republican House candidate, Brandon Herrera. The alleged shooter, Robin Westman, had anti-Black, anti-Latino, anti-LGBTQ slurs written on his magazines. It says, kick a SPIC. What does this one say? Fuck you, eat shit. And then it says F word, FAGGOT. And then we have the big one, TM, I think that's for tomorrow. The big one tomorrow.
Well, let me just say something. You got to kind of give it to the guy. He didn't discriminate.
He's got everyone covered, man. He's got everyone covered.
He hates everybody.
The fart before the N word is I shouldn't laugh, but Jesus Christ, like what the fuck does that mean? Holy shit.
I don't know, but it's funny.
Oh, Jib. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna at this point, but I remember you talked about this briefly with Jacob, actually, all people. That kind of you think the trans thing's a link too. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but yeah, I was almost gonna show that clip, but I didn't want to on this show.
Well, as I said, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say nothing with you, Jib. Just the other thing. I didn't want to bring that into the political show, but yeah,
I was gonna say I don't think it's particularly a link. Like I wouldn't expect every trans person to shoot up. Hold on a second. Sorry, frog in the throat.
Yeah,
I wouldn't expect every trans person to be to be worried that they're going to go be violent. It's just, as I said, this is more of an expression of their the other mental illness that they have, and probably going trans is probably a way to not to be, or to not be such an outcast, like to get into, like, still be an outcast, but be an outcast with all the other outcasts.
gotcha.
You know what I mean? As I said, same thing with the trench coats and the trilbies and stuff. It's like it marked you as an outcast, but you're an outcast with the other outcasts. So at least you have, like, not so isolated. And I think this is just, as I said, sort of the acceptable manifestation of that mental illness.
Yeah, I was going to say one thing I did look up. Unfortunately, I was getting all the videos ready, so I didn't look much deeper right before the show. But a few days ago when this all happened, I did look up like the percentage of shooters that were trans or whatever. And of course, all like AI or whatever ChatGPT was like less than 1%. I didn't get like a very accurate percentage, but obviously it was low. And this is where my leftyism is going to come out, where I think obviously I don't believe this is where I think I'm a little different than a lot of lefties. Is I don't hate guns. There's even I'm not going to lie, my wife and I have even for the first time been thinking about possibly getting one. So I'm not entirely against it at all. I just think that people have to acknowledge that they do play a part in this. Like, people aren't going to be able to do this much damage with a fucking knife or something like that. And I think we make it way too easy for mentally disturbed people to get guns in this country. A lot easier than most other countries do. So we have to fucking figure out a way to make it so these people, it's just way too easy for anyone and everyone to get a fucking gun in this country. I don't think I'm crazy, but I know I have like a little short fuse with things, and I'm clumsy as fuck, which is why I have never had a gun. Like, I don't trust myself. I didn't trust myself to fucking properly handle one and shit like that. And I think I'm more sane than a lot of people. So I can't imagine some of these crazies just like, I don't have the perfect solution, but I think we have to start trying to do something. I don't know, just my opinion.
Well, here's the thing, like how do you determine if somebody is too? Because yeah, if you have been like to a mental institution or been declared as being unstable and whatnot, or even like there's a lot of crimes, but just being declared mentally unstable, you are not allowed to have a gun. However, how do you stop this person from getting a gun? They had no history of mental illness. Well, they had a history of mental illness, but not documented. You know what I mean? Like nobody said, hey, we should send this person in to get evaluated because they're out of their mind. They probably just went, well, just a transgender, just let them do whatever. It's fine. They're just working through their problems. And it's like, well, no, he's writing fucking notes about murdering kids. Maybe we should, send them to. So what I'm trying to say is nothing was done to prevent this person from getting a gun, like getting them evaluated and maybe probably because nobody wanted to seem that they were anti-trans.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair, but we gotta move past that. Whatever, just like most polls show that like over 90% of Americans are in favor of universal background checks. So I'm guessing
We already have that.
most of the we do not though.
We do.
We have gun shows where there's fucking nothing. We have passing them hand down.
How many guns have you bought at a gun show?
I've never been to a gun show, but I know
I've
there's
bought
a gun
several.
show.
You have to go through the exact same background checks and waiting periods at a gun show.
Then why do literally everyone say you don't? Even like on the
Because they don't know what the fuck
to.
they're talking about. They've never been to a gun show. They're just repeating bullshit that they heard.
Well, I don't know. I know there's like passing shit down to people. I know there's like I actually think, and people aren't gonna. I know no one.
Yeah.
I know no one in the chat is gonna agree with me on this, but I think these checks need to be even more invasive. Like we got like a psych test and all sorts of shit. Like it's just way too fucking easy. Like I know someone, Mr. Blue Sky, you said it doesn't work. Well, Japan has like some of the strictest fucking gun laws, and go look at the gun murders they have. Like fucking none, like fucking zero. So
Japan is also kind of a single race too, and they don't deal with this sort of shit. They don't tolerate these kinds of people in Japan as well.
So yeah, Chris, I did see you say this before on the other show that you cannot get a criminal to think twice about getting a gun illegally. That is the issue. A majority of the left think for some reason that criminals obey the laws. No, I don't think that. I actually do want to bring up something. Mike, you said in the in another video, Chris said that he thinks we need to arm more people at the schools, and because that'll help. Well,
that's what they do in the inner cities.
It doesn't work, like, because once again, you think criminals obey the law. Like, you think that. I don't think that.
No, I don't think that.
No, not you. I'm talking about Chris.
Oh.
Like, look at fucking Uvalde. They were like 100 fucking dudes sitting around, armed to the fucking teeth, listening to fucking kids get shot. And they did nothing for like a fucking hour. That school, I can't think of it right now. The one with David Hogg, the one in fucking Florida.
Park something or other. I don't know.
I think
whatever.
everyone knows what we're talking about, but yeah, they literally had an armed officer there who did nothing, who watched the person go in and shoot. Like, it doesn't stop it. So I don't know how more guns are a solution to it. Makes no sense. It's like saying more Parkland, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I know, like I said, I don't personally have anything against guns. I'm even thinking about trying to get one at this point, but more guns is not the fucking answer to this thing at all. It makes no sense to me.
Well, I think an armed officer there does deter.
And I have no problem with that. I mean, there's an armed officer at my kid's school. Go on.
Yeah, but stuff like this, like what happened in Minnesota, that I don't think an armed officer would have deterred it. Because this is a person that was, determined to do whatever they can to kill as many people as they can, and they even planned it out. So,
right, they took their own life. So obviously, they didn't care if they were going to get shot. So it's just, I start arming teachers or whatever this nonsense is. It's insane.
I'm not huge on arming teachers.
Thank you. I'm glad.
I think that if a teacher wants to arm themselves, that they should be allowed to, concealed, obviously. For their own self and the defense of the school and their students and themselves. And I believe if they want to do that, they should be allowed to. However, I don't believe that just arbing teachers is going to do. Just here's a gun. It's like, there's a lot of people who probably shouldn't be just handed a gun as well.
I agree. Like,
so I guess what I'm saying is, like, a teacher that wants to be armed is probably proficient with their gun and would probably responsible with it.
yeah, I guess my only issue is, like, depending where the place is, some of these teachers get beat up and then the student takes their gun and now we get a situation. But the one thing I will say where I know I have zero answer to is, obviously we have a gun obsession in this country that a lot of these other countries don't have, or infatuation, or whatever you want to call it. How the Second Amendment is, people think it's some certain people think it's more important than the First Amendment for some reason.
Well, the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment.
Yeah, not really. But I mean, we literally
the
had
intention.
I agreed. That was the intention, but it's not really how it works out. When a veteran gets arrested for burning a flag the other day, but I digress. As Karmic would say.
Fart N-word. Fear the big one tomorrow. Smiley face. Fart N-word. Okay. All right. The alleged shooter, Robin Westman, had the far-right neo-Nazi message, 6 million wasn't enough, on his gear, a message celebrating the Holocaust. He also had Jew gas written on his smoke grenades. Oh, that's what that is, a smoke grenade. No shit. There's a smoke grenade right here. Okay. Alleged shooter Robin Westman also had Waco and McVeigh written on his gear, references to anti-government topics, often referenced by far-right nationalists. In addition to his far-right Nazi messages, he also had threats against Trump on his gear. Many far-right white nationalist anti-government types despise Trump, while others find their home in the MAGA movement. Westman appears to be the former. Republican candidate Brandon Herrera, that's the one that this person endorsed, runs a gun YouTube page. In the clip in the first tweet above, alleged shooter Robin Westman also mentions Vintage Warfare, which appears to be another gun YouTuber page. Earlier, Republican House candidate Brandon Herrera condemned his fan, alleged shooter, and Robin Westman in a tweet. Herrera has also now blocked Patriot Takes after posting this thread. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. All right, more. This says, quote, I am a Columbine terrorist in Russian. You can see in the background here, too. This clip says, where is your God? This person says, just so I understand, the mass shooter was trans and a liberal, also a racist who hated Latinos, black people, and Jews, but last but not least, also homophobic. Somebody's story isn't adding up. That's exactly right. The story is not adding up.
So obviously, it's this could be intentional, obviously, by this person to just confuse the fuck out of everybody, and be fucking fucked in the head. I don't know. Like, I literally, one of the first times, I can't figure out a direct motive, it's like the Trump shooter seemed to have some conflicting things as well. I think they were like looking to shoot somebody, like they would have tried to shoot fucking Shmuel Buckman there, Biden, if he was around first. But so he was a little confusing, but this is like fucking that on fucking steroids. Like,
probably just, anti-government.
Yeah, that could be it too. I'm fucking so confused on this one. What the hell did I just do?
I think the trying to pin some sort of side or value or motive on this person is probably obviously not going to get you anywhere.
No,
because I think the motive was literally kill the kids at the school. Like, that was the motive. The idolized other school shooters, and that's what he wanted to do.
And terrorists, yeah.
I should also tell you guys, there was a full manifesto that this person put out, or it was like almost like a goodbye letter. And I would show you it, but for whatever reason, YouTube pulled it down. So I would be risking this video getting pulled down if I showed you the goodbye letter / manifesto. It's really more of a goodbye letter than a manifesto. But in that goodbye letter, he basically tells like his family and his friends, I love you. And then talks about how I'm miserable, I'm depressed all the time, I'm anxious, my brain doesn't work right, the pain is too hard to overcome. Talks about how I think I have lung cancer, and they think they gave themselves lung cancer from vaping, and they felt like not only did they have lung cancer, but it was like terminal lung cancer. And then also went on bizarrely at the end of the message to talk about like love, and tells, I guess, another family member to, hey, like, forgive our mom. I guess they has a family member that's mad at their mom and they didn't want that, and said like, oh, you gotta believe in love and like move on in life. And it's like, what the fuck? So totally unhinged, and clearly not somebody who's thinking straight. So now let's get to some videos here. This is one of the kids who was there when the mass shooting happened, and I'm gonna let him speak for himself with what he witnessed.
Shot in the back. He's in the hospital right now. It was super scary because like we've never practiced it in the church. We've only practiced it in the main school.
So he's talking about mass shooting drills.
So we really didn't know what to do. We just got into the pews and he shot through the stained glass windows. Yeah.
And did you ever see him?
My friend like ran, someone helped him like run out. He saw him. He was wearing all black and he had a ski mask on.
So just shot through the windows and never came inside?
I don't think so. I mean, I was down, so I didn't really look up. I mean, he shot through the stained glass windows, so they're probably ruined. And
But do you have friends that got hit by bullets?
yeah, my best friend did.
Have you heard what happened with him? Is he okay?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be okay.
All right, now we got him again. Now this kid is on CNN. Here's what he says.
Like the shots fired, and then we kind of like got under the pews. They shot through the stained glass windows, I think, and it was really scary.
What did you do after that?
Well, we waited like 10 to 5 minutes. I don't really know, and then we went to the gym, and then the doors locked just to make sure he didn't come, and we waited in the gym for more news, and everyone was okay. Or most people were okay.
Who are your friend, Wes?
My friend got hit in the back.
Did he go to the hospital?
Yeah, he went to the hospital.
What went through your mind when you saw that?
I was super scared for him.
Insane. And now this is the reporter breaking down on air, seeing the parents frantic trying to get to their kids.
Matt Brenny, the thing that I really just can't paint the picture of is these parents with the looks on their faces as they are, running up this hill,
We understand.
hoping that they're going to find their babies.
Yeah, that's just absolutely terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
So this is why, like, yeah, this issue like always like really bothers me. I'll just tell this story real quick. When Stuttering John doxed me, he originally said I was from Tennessee, which I am obviously not from. The reason he thought that is because one of his his fucking PI found a like public Facebook post by me. And there was a day where there was a school shooting in Tennessee, and that same day my youngest son's school got swatted. Somebody called the police department in the city we lived in, and it's a bunch of schools in the city, and they picked my child's school and said that there were a male teacher in the bathroom, and he was hiding with students, and there was a shooter. So literally the police thought it was real, the school thought it was real, the kids thought it was real. And my kid and his friends were like fucked up for days, and they didn't even really experience it. Was just a false alarm. So like this shit is like terrifying. And like I never had, I'm in my 40s. I never had these shooter drills when I was in school. We had fucking fire drills. That's all we ever had.
We had bomb drills, nuclear bomb drills.
You're not old enough for those, were you?
Yeah.
Really? All right. Yeah, I never had those.
We even had I was living along the coast, so we also even had the monthly air raid siren tests and stuff like that. They've stopped that a long time ago.
Right. Hey Ashley, no, this one is this is Minnesota from last week. Yeah, Catholic school. Yes, yeah, that was always funny. Is John Smugly being like, and John, he's just add a little humor to it. He doesn't come out and say it. He's like, "Oh, where am I going to go today? Maybe Tennessee?" And he's got like that little wink. I was like, "Yeah, dude, I don't live in." I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't live in fucking Tennessee. And then I realized what they did. It was like one of my only public posts, and they fucking obviously found it. But because someone commented on it just to let me know they were from the Dabbleverse. But yeah, so like I hate how this issue more than most seems to get. I mean, they all get politicized, and I just wish, like I said, as a liberal, if I thought more guns were the solution, I would be calling for more guns, but I just don't think it's the solution. And I don't say I have a perfect solution because Mr. Blue Sky, I actually agree with you a lot. It's tough to put the fucking genie back in the bottle at this point in this country because we're so, not the whole country, but there's a large percentage that just gun-tastic, just love fucking guns and wouldn't give their guns up for fucking anything. And it makes it fucking hard at this point to rein them in. But we got to at least start trying to do fucking something, and we never try. We just point fingers and thoughts and prayers, and let's blame. It used to be blaming video games and blaming movies, and now it's blaming trans people, and it's never trying to fucking solve anything. And I don't know, it's just very frustrating. I thought that, not to get all, it is serious, so let's get serious. That kid was very well spoken for what he just fucking went through, and as a parent, I could totally understand that fucking reporter like losing her shit right there. It has to be fucking terrifying. Like when my kid's school got swatted and I got the fucking call, it was fucking like, what the fuck? It was nuts. So sorry.
Yeah, that's exactly like kind of why I don't really look into this stuff a whole lot, because like, what can we do? Like, what is the solution? Is there a solution? Like, when did this start, and what was significant for when this sort of shit really started happening? Because it's actually kind of a universal problem, even like in the UK. I also looked up stuff where knife violence is through the roof in schools. Like they're like 53 kids a year are getting killed with knives in the schools there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's going up, and it's going up and up.
Yeah, I've seen shit like that. Yeah, that video that went around, I think it was in Scotland. There was, or was it some teenage girl or girls with knives or hatchets or something, supposedly defending themselves against an immigrant or migrant in Eckle. It was like, look, I'm usually anti-immigrant, so I'm not saying, but I'm like, but also teenage girls in that area, they all carry fucking knives and hatchets and start shit. So he's like, so I don't know who the fuck's to blame on that. It could be either one. So he's like, it's fucking crazy. I'm gonna put Krishan up real quick. The reason it becomes political is because liberals blame guns. That's where the conversation goes nowhere every time. I don't fully blame guns, dude, but you gotta acknowledge that they play a part in this thing. Like, all right, I understand there's knife things, but you can't kill like fucking, you can't wound 100 people and kill like 20 within like fucking minutes or seconds with a fucking knife.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Guns, are much easier to cause a lot more damage with.
Right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not blaming the gun itself. I'm just saying that's part of the conversation. And sure, you can blame liberals for that, but I can also say that the other side blames everything but guns. They want guns nothing that act like they have nothing to do with it, when obviously they can cause more damage, than fucking other weapons. So I don't know. Like,
well, to be fair, guns other than the SIG P320 don't really just go around killing people. Now the SIG P320 does. So
now I'm lost.
Be careful.
Is that one of those automatic things?
No, it's a poorly made handgun by SIG.
It kills.
It's the one that killed that I think it was an Air Force officer or Marine or something like that. It kind of goes off when you drop it. Or actually, it just kind of goes off on its own all the time.
I was my wife was watching. She watches like all that true crime or police. Yeah, I watch a lot of it too, like police cam video. And I forget where it was, but there was some woman that she had these two sons, like 7 and 9, that she just could not control, and literally like called the police for help like a million times. Well, it also seems like she was not a very good parent, because she left the gun just lying around in the fucking car, and they clean out the car, and the boys grab the gun and they take off, and literally these cops had a fucking gun standstill with a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, and they're just like begging these kids just to put the fucking gun down, because obviously I am no police fan, but obviously no officer wants to shoot a fucking 7-year-old.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the kind of shit. Like, obviously that woman has no fucking business having a fucking gun. So,
and she should probably have that right removed from her, because she can't be responsible with it.
And that's what I mean. I know there's so much we could probably agree on. It's just like sometimes it's just so hard to get past that initial thing. That's why I try to tell people, like, obviously we're not going to agree on everything, but I'm not looking to take everyone's fucking guns away, and shit like that. But we gotta just thoughts and prayers and doing nothing. Like, we've actually gone backwards, because we used to have certain, and I'm sure all the gun enthusiasts probably didn't like this, but we used to have certain weapons banned that aren't banned anymore.
Because they were unbanned because they made no significant difference to any of the crime rates.
Well, let's ban some more then. I don't know. I'm joking there, but we have to, like I said, like, nobody does anything. It's it becomes a pissing match. I honestly believe politicians on both sides love using it as a campaigning fucking tool, as a, like the NRA. We've talked about this. I've talked about this before. I mean, the NRA actually does much better when the fucking there's a Democrat in office. There's a Democrat president, because they're like, he's going to take your guns away. Then when there's Trump's in office and there's no threat of that, like, there's no frantic run to buy guns because they're not afraid to lose.
Let me.
So,
I need to speak on the NRA real quick.
go ahead.
No gun owners are or Second Amendment enthusiasts like the NRA. The NRA has thrown all gun owners under the bus. They've actually trying to put forth policies for more gun control. So when you say the NRA is doing this, that, and the other thing, that was maybe 50 years ago. Now the NRA is actually quite a bit hated by gun owners. So so when you say it's the NRA, that just says I don't know anything about guns or what's going on.
No, dude, I've seen that fucking leader say that they're gonna take your guns away. I've seen that. What the fuck's his name?
Oh, they'll say that, but they're also trying to take your guns away. Yeah, they'll say that to get people on board, but only like boomers and old school guys still are part of the NRA. There's much better groups out there that are actually fighting for Second Amendment rights, whereas the NRA are not.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the NRA has changed over like a long time ago. The NRA was actually about I watched something on this a long time ago. Like, they were about teaching gun safety to people at a very early age. There was a lot about more responsibility and shit like that.
Specifically to newly freed slaves.
Please. Well, I'm not going that far back. I'm just
originally
saying.
that was sort of originally what it was, is basically helping newly freed slaves learn firearm, give them firearms and teach them to use them and for defending themselves.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was talking. The thing I saw was I think it was like the 1950s, 1960s, shit like that. They were literally showing kids and everything how to properly use guns and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was going to say, back when they were, shooting clubs and shooting ranges at schools, and people had guns at school. People had guns in their cars and their trucks, and literally kids would be bringing their rifles to school. There didn't seem to be a lot of mass shootings.
Yeah, so that's fair too. Like I said, somewhere along the line, our society changed and they went fucking gun crazy, and then there were people on the other side that became so anti-gun that there's just
America's been gun crazy way before now. I don't think it's gun crazy.
No, I know it's just crazy. Right. It's been gun crazy for. I just mean, like, obviously as the guns got more badass, for lack of a better term, people seem to have more of a fucking hard on for the fucking guns than they used to have.
You can die just as easily from a 22 short as a 308. So how you get killed by what caliber gun or what size bullet, it doesn't matter. You're dead as dead. It doesn't matter if it's a semi-auto, a one shot Derringer, or a fucking fully automatic. You get killed by a gun, you're killed by a gun. A gun is a gun. It doesn't matter how badass it is. A gun is a gun. And you can get killed just as easily by any of them.
Well, yeah, but some can kill more people. I'm just saying, like, there are people that, like, I got this gun, I got that gun. I don't know, dude. Whatever you want to call it. There are countries that have, like, fucking Canada. They all got fucking guns. There's fucking what's that country? Fucking Sweden? Like, yeah, it might be Sweden, because everyone thinks Sweden's this fuck, because they don't take sides in wars. They're all walking around with fucking guns. The fucking kids.
Well, they have compulsory military.
But they don't have the fucking school shootings and murders that fucking we have. So obviously we have something that these countries don't have. Like, wrong with our fucking heads.
We have you're talking about a lot of countries that are really homogenous race-wise. We're not.
Yeah, I get that too. But this guy just it was a white dude, killed a bunch of white people praying in school. I don't know, man. There's just so much to it. Like,
let's just say that's why I don't like that's why I kind of didn't want to sort of hit this subject, because
Too
regardless
hard.
of, I mean, we both have our own points of view, and we're both probably right and we're both probably wrong, and that's kind of the problem. It's like, what is the solution? Is there a solution? If there is a solution, why is nobody doing it? Is it politically motivated to not solve this problem?
Oh, I think they're like, yeah, I briefly brought that up. But yeah, I think this is one of those hot topic issues that both sides like to run on. You know, one side runs that we're going to protect your guns, and the other one's like, well, we're going to protect your children or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well,
and
both sides want to protect the children. It's just the different ways that they both sides want to protect the children. Both sides don't want this to happen. It's just a difference of opinion on what the fix is for that.
Oh, you're more. I'm thinking more of a pessimist than you are. I don't think they want to happen to the children, but I don't think the fucking politicians give a fuck because they're not fucking trying to do anything about it.
Oh, the politicians, no, they.
Okay, you're talking about the voters and everything. Gotcha.
I'm talking about just people in general. The
people in
that
general.
are saying, you trying to protect the guns or trying to protect the kids. It's like, no, everybody's trying to protect the kids. It's just a difference of opinion on what that is.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can agree with that with the voters. Like I said, I just don't think the politicians give a fuck.
Politicians, no, this is fodder for their campaign.
Yep, absolutely.
I have to say too, man. So one of the things that I saw this in a documentary not that long ago, that there was somebody who did a mass shooting years ago, and they left a death note basically saying, you need to study my brain when I'm gone. And the implication was like, something's actually fucked up with my brain. And come to find out, the person who did that had something, I don't know if it was a cyst or there was something pressing on the portion of his brain that controls fear, the fear area of the brain. And so this person was living in constant fear, constant panic, constant paranoia. And like, he was actually, like, his brain was actually broken, and that he was dysregulated. He couldn't have normal emotions. He couldn't reach homeostasis. He couldn't be just okay. And so that's what led him to be immensely violent. And there's another example, Dr. Amen, I believe his name is. This guy's like a brain scan specialist and a psychiatrist. He's had patients who have had, a history of violence. And then when he does the brain scan, he finds out there's something wrong with that area of the brain that controls your emotions, that controls fear and panic and sense of well-being. And also another thing is that CTE can really fuck you up in ways people don't realize. That's why a lot of people with CTE end up committing suicide or end up being very violent, is that it's literally the case that their brain is physically fucked up, where it's not just like a willpower thing. It's not just like, get over it or take this medicine, or no, like there's something structurally wrong with the brain. And so when I see a story like this, especially as contradictory as this shit is, right?
Real quick, Metal, I will address your questions. Yes, this is Kyle Kalinske. You said, I used to watch him for years, but completely stopped watching after his fallout with Jimmy Dore. What is up with that hair? So, funny story. I don't know if you know who Crystal Ball is. She is on Breaking Points with Saga, which I brought up. I probably should have looked up because they have a video on this that I haven't seen yet. But they have anyway. That's his wife. He's married to Crystal, and they are lefty righty and all this. Sorry, Crystal's lefty too, and Saga's righty. But he started dating Crystal and married her, and one of their first Halloweens together, he went as Fred from fucking Scooby-Doo, and he colored his hair blonde, and he's kept it that way ever since for some fucking reason. I agree, it looks ridiculous. I think he started getting gray on the sides, so I think that's why maybe he just kept it, or maybe Crystal liked it and told him to keep it. I don't fucking know, but yeah, it does look ridiculous. But that's how it all started. Yeah, I took Jimmy's side when he went to war, Kyle and TYT. So funny now, Kyle and TYT have since gone to war, and they don't get along either. It's like the left just splintered into like a million different factions. I didn't go with Jimmy Dore. I didn't go with TYT. I'm actually more on Kyle's side. Lately, very, very lately in the past couple months, I'm starting to get concerned that a little he's getting a little sucked in, hating Trump a little too. Like, I hate Trump too, don't get me wrong. I know you guys don't, but he used to call the Democrats out all the time, and he still kind of does, but I think he's starting to give him more of a pass because of Trump, so I'm starting to, as long as I'm conscious of it, I can kind of see what's going on. But yeah, that's what's kind of happened with him.
Any evidence this person is far right, no doubt about it. But then other people will point to, the kill Donald Trump thing, the fact that they're trans, and they'll say the opposite, that this evidence this person is left wing, and people are going to go off with whatever narrative they want. But based off the death letter that I couldn't show you because again we're risking a ban if I show you it. But the fact that they point out like I'm miserable all the time, I'm always depressed, I'm always anxious, I never felt right, lays all that out very clearly. Think that they're dying. They probably didn't have cancer. Like they might do autopsy and figure it out or not, but they probably didn't have cancer. But they've convinced themselves they had cancer. Why? Because their brain is actually physically fucked up, and that portion of the brain that controls fear and controls emotional comfort and stability is just not functioning right. So that's the biggest takeaway in my mind, is that the only way you can get somebody like this to do these horrible things. I mean, it should be a law that if somebody is a criminal, and certainly a criminal to this degree, they need to get a brain scan so that we know, hey, this is why this person is doing it. Because in many instances, we're talking about literally physically broken brain that is not functioning like a normal person.
I haven't even seen this. That's pretty much exactly what I said.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's got to be something. It's almost like how they started. It's actually not a bad idea. Something I never thought about. How they started, monitoring the brains of certain football players that have acted weird. After they should do this with the fucking shooters too, and see if you can find some kind of pattern or fucking something.
This incredibly antisocial, violent behavior. And when you go in there and you gun down innocent kids, I mean, it's hard for me to come to any other conclusion other than something's physically wrong with this person's brain. And how it got that way, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but something is clearly physically wrong with this person's brain. Now, I should also point out the school shooting at Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis, Minnesota is the 146th shooting at a K-12 school so far in 2025. Wow. 146th.
Right. And
you actually can't trust those numbers.
I was just going to say also, I'm guessing a lot of these are inner city kids shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like
inner city. There's also a lot of just basically any shooting around a school also gets counted. Any shooting where any bullets actually enter school property get counted. A shooting between one kid shoots another kid in the parking lot, which is legitimately the majority of those gets counted. That sort of stuff, and a lot of it is inner city. Yeah,
I'm not saying that there's way too much, but every time there's like I'm not gonna like the inner city stuff. It's more almost like gang against gang or whatever. I'm not. That sucks, but it's not to me. It's not the same as this. Like every time something like this happens, I believe we hear about it, and it's not obviously anywhere near 146. Still way too fucking often. But
well, one is too much.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I remember when Columbine happened, it blew everyone's fucking mind because like nothing like that really ever happens, and then all of a sudden you almost get numb to it a little. It's sick.
This is something we have in this country. Other countries don't really deal with this. By the way, they posted a video on YouTube with all the guns basically saying like, I am going to do a school shooting hours before the shooting. Now, of course, possible, like nobody fucking saw it, right? But it's also possible. And we've how many times have we seen this? We've seen this with other people in other school shootings a day before, 2 days before, the same week. I am now going to do a school shooting, they post. And like, it's still not legal at the federal level for the government to just go in there and take the person's guns after they do that. Isn't that insane? It is still not legal in that moment for the government to go in and say, we're taking your guns because you just posted you're going to do a mass shooting and you have guns and they're locked and loaded and you're ready to go. That's what's called a red flag law. We need red flag laws nationally, 100%.
No.
We need a licensing system.
I think we do. That's a common sense thing. If you're going to threaten the fucking...
The problem with red flag laws is, let's say you want to get a gun, Nick, and I can just basically call up and say, oh, no, and he's pretty unstable, and I can make up a bunch of lies, and they'll come in and they'll take all your guns.
Well, it depends on what's in the law. I'm not saying like, I'm not down with that shit. I'm just saying like...
That's exactly how they're written.
Well,
then all the ones that have been proposed, that's pretty much how they've been.
Then I'm against the ones that are currently proposed. But let's get something. But also, while we're on the subject, I did look up the background check, the gun show loophole, because I know this was a fucking thing for you. So according to this, you're correct, but that changed in like May of 2024. That's when they kind of closed the loophole or whatever. So they're claiming before then that there was a loophole for gun shows. It says under a new federal rule that took effect in May of 2024, background checks are required for most gun sales at gun shows and online, regardless of whether the seller is a licensed dealer or not. Prior to this rule, sales between private, unlicensed individuals at gun shows were often exempt from federal background check requirements, creating a loophole.
That is true. The thing is that very few people actually you don't have unlike you could, but you didn't have really unlicensed people selling guns like that. I mean, there were some like the ones that I went to. It would usually be like collectible guns and stuff like that. High price shit
Yeah.
that would be unlicensed, person to person type of thing. Somebody selling their collection or whatever. But yeah, all the other vendors there were all licensed firearm. So maybe the place I was in, it was more like that. But yeah, you still have to do background checks. So it was basically sort of more of because right now, even like you can still sell a gun to another person and not tell anybody. You don't have to tell anybody about it. Even not right now. Just like, I guess at gun shows now, you can't do that. But as I said, it was mostly licensed vendors there. Well, at least the ones that I've been to.
Noga Chaser, I know you're not a fan of mine, but I am very open to the fact, I even said on the show, I don't know a lot about guns. This is not my strong point at all. Like I said, I did know that there was gun show loopholes that they were trying to close forever, and that's all we were talking about. I don't know if that's what you were talking about with the naive shit. I'm not naive to the fact that even closing that loophole or getting universal background checks would end these shootings. I've said it absolutely would not. I'm saying we have to start trying to fucking do something, because thoughts and prayers obviously don't work. I believe these kids were literally praying when they got shot, which is a sick irony. Or some of the kids were praying. So the prayer shit doesn't fucking, it's a joke. It's insulting with the thoughts and prayers fucking shit. I have admitted multiple times on this show when I was wrong. Actually, we once did a show on cop violence and or famous, like, shootings and stuff like that, and I actually changed my mind on Kyle Rittenhouse.
And I changed my mind on what's his name, Chauvin.
On Chauvin with the George Floyd. So
Yeah.
we do that on this show, man. Like we can't catch everything. Obviously, I think he's. I'm not going to speak for you, but Liquid may not be a fan of George Floyd, and I wasn't a fan of George Floyd either. He just happened.
Oh
to
no,
be
the guy's a scumbag. It's just like I just went
person
from
involved.
I just went from maybe Chauvin was shouldn't have been charged the way he was, and then you showed a bunch of stuff, and I went, oh, everybody's a dirtbag. Okay.
And with me, I went with I still fucking hate Rittenhouse. I still think he's a little fucking bitch just trying to grift off this fucking whole thing. But by the letter of the law, I used to think he was guilty. Now I don't think. I think he's not guilty. So I changed my mind on that too. So we do that on this shit, man. That's what we do. I do live in reality, bro. That's what I'm fucking trying to deal with. Reality. I got kids in fucking schools dealing with fucking swatting in schools. That's what I'm trying to deal with. This isn't. I think people don't deal with reality. They deal online with the fucking political shit and don't try to deal with it, for fucking real.
And to your defense, Nick, and for everybody else, Nick is probably the most founded in reality person on the left that you'll ever talk to, especially on the internet.
Thank you. I try. That's what I mean. I don't get. Yeah, I don't care about the. And I always admit when I don't know something going into this. I obviously the school shootings is drives me fucking crazy, and that's usually when I look into stuff. But I don't know everything. I actually have a friend at work who's a gun guy. He's been trying to get me to go to the range. A lot of times I ask him questions about guns because I don't have a gun. I've fucking never owned a gun. I don't fucking know. The only gun I ever shot was I have a uncle who's a big hunter. So obviously I couldn't shoot an animal. So I did a little target practice. And yeah, it's fucking fun as shit, man. I can act like it's bad, but...
Well, some advice there, just to let you know, since you might not know, most gun ranges have guns there that you can rent.
Yeah.
For the day. So, might want to go with your buddy there, go out to the range and go try, a bunch of different guns. They'll be more than happy to accommodate you, especially if you're saying you're thinking of buying your first gun. You'll have everybody all over you trying to teach you everything you want, trying to teach you everything about shooting a gun. gun ranges and gun shops, very, very, very nice people, and everybody is really just super happy for somebody who, you know, wants to get their first gun, and they'll be more than happy to teach you everything, you know, about gun safety, proper handling, what kind of gun you might want. I mean, they'll even talk to you about, you know, what kind of recoil, what kind of grip. They'll put a bunch of guns in your hand to see what feels good, all sorts of stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You should definitely go.
I'm thinking, yeah, he's been asking me for years without getting too into it. Like our youngest kid is now not super young anymore. So I didn't, and I'm not knocking anyone that had them, but I just didn't want them in the house when they were all young.
Oh, for sure.
So that's now, the youngest is now a freshman in high school. So I think we're good. So we were actually talking about it recently.
For guns, right? We need to do universal background checks, ban high capacity magazines. We need serious restrictions to make it so that psychotic people can't get the guns. And here we have a situation where psychotic people got the guns. And so everybody's going to try to spin their own political.
How does high capacity magazines keep psychopaths from getting guns? And also we do have the universal background checks that he's talking about and that you were talking about. We have those background checks. This is what I was saying before. This person should have never got to the point of being able to have a gun. Like, they should have been committed or something, you know, at some point when somebody said, hey, this person's erratic and unstable, they need to be checked out and admitted to somewhere mentally, or have, you know, be mentally looked over, or looked at whatever, examined,
evaluated,
and, you know, see what's going on with them. And I think that didn't happen because they're trans.
It could be, man. Could be.
Narrative over this. But the fact of the matter is, the reason we have so much gun violence and so many mass shootings is because we have so many guns and so many people who are not well. I mean, not a good mix when you have a very anxious, very depressed country, a lot of mental illness, and they're also fucking armed to the teeth. And we're also incredibly antisocial and individualistic, right? Like, all that stuff.
Breaking news. I have breaking news.
What's that?
Tom Myers is streaming.
Oh boy.
It's a Watch Hours pop-up show, so he's just watching bullshit. He's just trying to do his Watch Hours thing by doing nothing.
Oh my god. I was gonna say, if he was actually talking something political, I might go snipe, but if he's fucking doing nothing.
No, he's watching an OxyClean commercial right now.
Yeah, okay.
And there's 4 watching, including me.
Well, we may not get along anymore, but I still think my old friend Jake Hudson said it best when he said, "Fuck you, Tom Myers."
Toxic brew, and it manifests like this. So, of course, the disgusting thing is, what's the right going to do? I guarantee you the right is only going to hyper-focus on the fact that this person's trans, right? They're only going to hyper-focus on that. And that is so fucking disingenuous. Because I just showed you, like, every political thing about this person, and there's, like, the ratio of right-wing things they believe to left-wing things. They believe way more right-wing things, and they have written down way more.
So I think this video was fine, but this was the moment where I wish I looked at the breaking points one first to see, like, what they did. Because, like, even though I'm a lefty, I don't like just getting the lefty perspective at the end here. Like, I think Kyle is fair and he's just giving his opinion here. But like I said, if we had breaking points, his wife Crystal would probably be making a very similar point, and then Saga would either agree or throw out whatever on his own thing on the right. But
I mean, obviously he had more right-wing slogans on his gun, so he's definitely a right-winger.
No, he's just a fucking wreck. What's funny is I just realized
That's
now
what he just said. We're tallying up the amount of slogans in his journal and on his guns, and it's been determined that he has more right-wing slogans, so therefore he is right-wing.
Well, we'll see how he finishes. I think he's just trying to make the point that you can't just blame the trans or the left if there's stuff on the right too. But we'll see how he finishes up.
Right-wing things, right? But they'll just disregard all that because it doesn't fit the narrative and only talk about the one thing that fits the narrative. Oh, another thing that the right is going to do.
Well, the Trump thing too. The kill Trump or whatever the fuck it said on the magazine.
Because we're already seeing it. Look at this. Despicable. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey mocks Christians praying as dead kids lay in a church. That is not what this person was doing. Listen to what they actually say, and then I'll explain what this fucking means.
These were Minneapolis families. These were American families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
So the point is, Don't hit me with your bullshit thoughts and prayers, because that's your way of saying, let's not do anything to change policy to try to fix this so the next shooting doesn't happen. That's what thoughts and prayers mean. And if they're literally in a church and praying and somebody comes in and shoots them, obviously prayer doesn't protect anybody from anything. So the point he's making is, can we get a little bit of gun reform in this bitch? Can we do universal background checks? Can we have red flag laws? Can we ban these
None of that
psychopaths
would
from
have
getting
helped.
guns? Obviously, this person should not have ever been able to get a gun ever, right? That's the point. But the right, oh, this person hates Christians and they're anti-prayer. And no, jackass. What they're saying very clearly is the prayer clearly didn't protect him. And your thoughts and prayer shit is just a dodge to avoid taking responsibility and doing anything to protect from the next mass shooting. But of course, the right will do what the right does. And this is what they do. They're dishonest. They are immensely, immensely dishonest. But
Thank you. I am.
if the right is not going to get on board to do anything to change this, then do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. Right? I don't want to hear your take on any mass shooting at any time, regardless of the politics.
So this is where I disagree. First Amendment, say whatever the fuck you want. Yeah.
Because if you don't want to do anything to actually change this, shut the fuck up, Sville. Like, why are you even bothering to waste your breath? If you're
We might as well end it here. Obviously, he's just going to babble with his opinion.
Yeah,
for,
he's just kind of he's
yeah.
on a rant there against the right for
fired up.
some reason. The thoughts and prayers thing, yeah, I think it's dumb too. But it's honestly it's more of a I wish I could do something, but this is all I can do.
Yeah, and once again, I think when a lot of voters or citizens say it, I think that's what they're doing. But again, with politicians, I think it's just they don't want to do anything.
When politicians say it, yeah, it's they're the people that can do something and they don't want to because, as you said, I think what it comes down to is, people on the right get to say, oh, they want to take your guns, so vote for us, and the people on the left are saying we need to get rid of guns, and it all becomes politicized. It never should have. It should be, hey, let's do everything we possibly can to get maybe make it so that we can identify and remove the ability of crazy people to get guns.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair. I'm just gonna throw something up real quick. We're not gonna watch it. I just wanted to show people. Let me see here. Okay. If anyone's interested, I highly recommend Breaking Points. It's kind of like a very more high level produced snobby version of this show where I would be the attractive blonde and look.
Oh, you still are.
Oh, thank you. I'm not blonde. And look would be the brown fellow named Sagar on the other side there. But yeah, they have a lefty righty thing and point of view. And like I said, I didn't get around to watching this one to see it probably would have been better. I think it would have been very similar. There's a kind of a joke that Sagar, actually, I don't know how Sagar would have felt on this one, but Sagar, because it had kids getting shot, I think he would have been very quiet on this one. You know what I mean? And then maybe the only time may have had a little difference of opinion when it came to the little shit at the end with the righties not caring and blaming trans and blah blah blah. He probably would have had a different take on that, which I wish people could have heard because I like giving both sides. But that was my bad. I for some reason I haven't been watching as much political shit lately. I gotta get back on that. I was busy with other shit. There was a while there where I wasn't watching any Dabbleverse shit. So when I was doing my show with Echo, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Well, there's been nothing interesting going on in politics. There's been nothing big going on. Everybody's just sort of running around in circles, as I said at the beginning of the show. Did I say it here? I don't know. I think I saw it behind the scene. Whatever. It's just everybody's sort of just on reruns right now. It's all the same bullshit over and over and over again. Tariffs, Epstein, this, that, those stuff it's already pretty well traveled. So it's like,
right. And with this one, I mean, not to sound like a bitch, but these school shooting things are hard to fucking watch. The one with Kyle was just the one I happened to see first, so I didn't bother watching this one afterwards because I figured I got it was going to be the same details. The only thing that would have been different would have been the opinion, which probably would have been, like I said, good for the show, but I didn't even think to watch it. But yeah, I'm sure it would have been a lot of the same shit. I don't pay attention to Crystal Ball since the left. I think it was MSNBC, but I heard she has some horrible takes. So she was on MSNBC at one point. She left a while back, and she was on, what the fuck is it called? The Rising by the Hill, and her and Saga were both on that together, and it was very weird because it was kind of like in a Washington D.C. establishment thing with the Hill, but they used to let them say whatever the fuck they wanted, and it was this very anti-government, corporate corruption shit. And then they left to do their own thing because, of course, after a while, the Hill started to clamp down on them. We're like, yeah, try not to say this and that, so they left to start their own thing. So I respect that. Whether you like her takes or not, she did twice leave corporate things and finally started her own thing. Same with Sagar. I don't agree with Sagar very much, but I appreciate that he left, a establishment media thing where it had what do you want to call it, stability to start his own thing, because they were trying to tell both of them what to say and they were like no. So that's why I do appreciate them very much, whether I agree with their takes or not, that they pretty much gave the middle finger to establishment media to start their own thing. So check him out if you want. Like I said, if that one didn't take so long, I figured we could watch this one, but we do want to watch the
yeah, I'd like to watch the Ojeda thing.
the Ojeda interview, and we'll end it with that, because that'll probably
let's move over to something a little less,
a little lighter.
dead kids.
We don't want back to back on, because obviously it would have been a lot of the same shit, just like I said, until we got to the opinion.
Yeah.
So Richard Ojeda was actually interviewed, and this is part of the reason I think I picked that one, by Kyle, the person we just watched, and Crystal, his wife, who's on Breaking Point. They have a Substack thing together called, I think, Crystal, Kyle and Friends, which I think there's all sorts of, $5 a month, this much a month, whatever. I do not pay for it, so we cannot watch the whole interview, but that would take too long anyway. But this is 13 minutes of it, and I have not watched this, so this will be all new to me. So we can see our boy Richard Ojeda, or Johnny's boy, the Army Major, and he's running for Congress, I believe, right? In
House of Representatives.
House of, yeah. I said that again. Fucking, I hope. Yeah, I fucking always do that. I know the Senate and the House of Representatives is what makes up Congress, but I always fucking do that when it comes to a representative. I always just call it fucking Congress for some fucking reason. It drives me nuts. Sorry, guys.
At least you know the difference.
Right, I do know, but it's the second time I've done that on a live stream, and ironically, the first time I actually made money off of it because I was on with Eckel and what's his face kept super tip, obviously kept copying and pasting all these facts about the fucking House of Representatives in the super tip form, so just to bust my balls. So it worked out.
About the way Democratic leadership has performed in this second Trump era. Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, those folks.
I want to see people fighting.
So that is why I like Crystal. She just called them she called them fucks, right? Did I hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to see people, going nose to nose with some of these people. I absolutely love what I'm seeing with Gavin Newsom, because Gavin Newsom is also showing everybody this is exactly.
Oh, dude. Okay. Sorry, stopping already. Gavin Newsom is just as bad as fucking Hakeem Jeffries and all those. What is he? I don't even know what he's talking about.
And he's done nothing, by the way. It's all been performative from Gavin Newsom.
100%.
He really needs to take care of his state. I mean,
yeah,
where I came from, there are literally like homeless camps everywhere. You go through anywhere, and there's homeless camps everywhere. Even in the nice place where I lived. Yeah, go down towards the beach, homeless camps everywhere.
Yeah, it's bad. My wife, like I said, has very similar beliefs to me, but she was starting to fall for the Newsom shit, and luckily she got a reality check recently when I was like, babe, no, you like him because he's shitting on Trump, but he fucking sucks. Trump's worst nightmare. Yes, the title is funny. I will give you that. I believe he would fight Trump, but I don't think Ojeda is going to get in there. He never seems to win these fucking things.
No, he is in a district that voted like 76% for Trump in the last election.
We go. Yeah,
and they only had one Democrat representative, and it was like in the 20s.
Yeah, and he struggles to even win the fucking primaries. Never mind get to that fucking point to get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Exactly the way Donald Trump has been. You clapped and loved it when Donald Trump was spewing this kind of garbage, but now that Gavin Newsom is doing it, that's just a bridge too far. No, look, I'm telling you right now, we need more people like Gavin Newsom to come out here and
Well,
fight
the difference
fire
is,
with fire.
you know, Trump actually is doing stuff. Gavin's just peacocking around. He's not doing anything. Even with his, he got through the legal hurdles of doing their redistricting there in California. I think we talked about this last week. I think.
Yeah. Yes.
And but in recent polls, it's like 70% of Californians are very much against the redistricting. So when it goes to the ballot in November, if it goes to the ballot, it's going to get shut. It's going to go down in flames. Nobody wants to do the redistricting thing.
No, and everything he's doing is just, he obviously wants to run for president, and this is, he's sticking his toe in the
Yeah.
water, but it's fucking, when it comes down to, now obviously you guys aren't going to like Newsom no matter what, but someone on the left, I can tell you, he's fucking one of the worst. He is one of the worst when it comes down to policies and things he's fucking actually done. You know, it's what he's doing with the Trump thing is just posturing, just fucking bullshit. He's fucking
And if
terrible.
and I imagine if he runs for president, he'll probably get the Democrat nomination, and JD Vance will eat his lunch.
Yeah, nobody, they can't keep picking, I don't know how to say that. Like, they can't pick polarizing people like that. Just, there are people that just hate fucking Newsom that you're never going to win. Like, I know there's been speculation whether AOC will run because she'll be old enough. And I have always have mixed feelings on AOC. I started out really liking her. I don't think she's dumb, like I know you a lot of you on the right think, but she doesn't have the courage for the right fucking issues. She will stand up for the stupidest fucking shit, and then kind of like just vote present on other issues because she doesn't want to rock the boat with the corporate Democrats. So she'll kind of stand up for these symbolic fucking issues, like, what the fuck, what is the word, I don't know, like when they like these race things, not that they're not important, but just the bullshit, the identity politics issues, that's what I'm trying to think of. She'll be super strong on those, and then when there's some economic issues where the Democrats are kind of joining some of the Republicans to fuck over the working class, she'll just vote present because she doesn't want to piss off Pelosi. And
Oh yeah, she's 100%. Yeah, well, she 100% is the kind of person I believe did stand outside while Doge was doing their thing, and just stood out there and postured and made speeches and stuff like that, but did nothing.
Right. Yep.
I'm sick and tired of people thinking that Democrats are weak. We're not weak, and we should prove that we're not weak. Go nose to nose with any one of these people. Look, I will work with anybody who has good ideas that will help the people. But make no mistake about it, I'm not going to sit there and let somebody just push me around, and I'm not going to sit there and be quiet when I see somebody spewing BS.
Yeah, we've never seen anything like this with the Republicans. I mean, we saw what they just did in Texas. They're gerrymandering 5 more Republican seats. Gavin Newsom is responding to that and saying, whatever you do, we're going to cancel.
I would like to put that out there. They're removing the gerrymandering. Gerrymandering, I don't know if you know the where that came from, is a while ago. I forget. It was like when they first started really redistricting stuff, and I forget which state. It doesn't matter. The year of the state doesn't matter. It was a long time ago, and they were doing a redistricting of a state, and one of the representatives, his last name was Jerry, drew a map that somebody said looked like a salamander, and so they called it a gerrymander. So that's where that comes from. It's basically, gerrymandering is when you have all these odd shaped districts in order to grab voters or whatever in certain respects, and they actually got rid of that in Texas. As I pulled up the map last week. If you want to go see last week's, you can see that they're actually removed a lot of the gerrymandering.
And I mean, Trump is just openly basically admitting that I'm going to rig this thing. I mean, right as we were coming on air here, he said something to that effect again, like, we got to ban the mail-in, but no more mail-in voting. We got to ban the mail-in voting. Here, I'll read it for you. Big win for the great state of Texas. And he talks about how Abbott did a good job here. And then he says, no more mail-in voting, no more voting machines. He said at the end, he said something really chilling. He said, something like no more with this crooked game of
He
politics.
said, if we do these two things, we will pick up 100 more seats, and the crooked game of politics is over.
That's him admitting, like, I don't want elections anymore.
Yes.
I just
yes.
want to take. And to your point, you got to fight fire with fire, because if you don't fight back, like, this is everything. This is the whole game.
Yeah, but but look, if you slap me, I'm not going to slap you back. I'm going to put a fist in your teeth. And you know what? That's what I'm saying. You know what? Don't just counter with 5 seats. Go ahead, go all the way. Make as many as you can, Gavin. Make as many as you can, New York. Make as many as you can, Illinois. If you want to play,
They already have. That's the problem.
This is fine. I think him and Karen were actually fighting about this on John's show last week. Like, Karen was actually against it and saying wrong is wrong. And and Ojeda here was like, fucking go all the way. My big issue, so I do disagree with you on, like, I do think both sides do it. I don't think, I remember the map you showed. I don't know, it's tough to figure out what the fuck they're doing there. But I seriously doubt that Abbott is trying to, like, screw over the Republican Party in Texas. I believe they're all trying to rig it. Whoever's in charge, they're trying to rig it for their own party. But,
absolutely.
What I don't get is excited. Obviously, this is, these are progressive shows here. What I don't get is excited is because the Democrats don't do shit for me or anyone when they're in fucking office anyway. So you're going to take the seats and then do what? Biden's agenda, which fucking did nothing. You know what I mean? So I don't get all excited about it. I can tell you there is a real fear or worry on the left that Trump is trying to either rig another election or trying to stay, it's come out he's supposedly trying to stay in office again. I don't fucking know. We'll see when we get there, I guess. I actually don't worry about that shit until we're a lot closer to see what he's going to do. I actually have it's weird because I don't have a lot of faith at all in my government, but I do have some faith that I think more people would stand up, even on the right, maybe not hardcore MAGA, but even on the right, if Trump just tried not to leave. I think people would stand up and he'd have to go.
Yeah, I imagine even hardcore MAGA. There's always going to be those crazies, right?
Yeah.
But even like most of his support would probably vanish if he tried anything like that.
Yeah, because I even think there's a portion, especially in the establishment, that they probably want JD Vance more than Trump. Not saying the voters. I mean, voters do like Vance, but obviously Trump's their guy. But I think a lot of the Project 2025 guys that like Vance is supposedly their guy, so they might even turn on Trump, if he tries to stay in, because they want to try and get the Vance in the push whatever. So I don't worry about that as much as other people on the left do. But I'm going to guess without watching this that that's probably a huge part of their worry, just from other shit I know they've said. So they want to try and get Democrats in to try and make sure Trump can't whatever. But I don't think he's going to stay anyway.
And then how does, stacking, obviously, cheating themselves, how does that help Democrats?
Yeah. And the only thing I will give, hey, what's going on, Mr. Thompson? How you doing, my friend? I do like, in theory, because I do think Democrats are fucking weak. Like, let's just I'll give one example. The Supreme Court seats under when they just took it from him, and Obama let them take it as he's president. He lets them take the seat. And then when so-and-so, whoever died, no, someone either died or stepped down. Oh, it was what's her face? The one that should have fucking stepped down under Obama. The old lady. Can't think of her name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, she dies very late in Trump's term, and they rush it through, and the Dems do nothing. Well, you should have done something. Number one, to me, when she died, that was the Republican seat. But Obama, you just let them take yours, so fucking try and take theirs. But they don't. They just roll over and die. So I do like the idea of them fighting, but they never do. They never will. Fucking pussies.
End of the day, I'd love nothing more to guarantee we're not just going to take back the House, but we're going to take back the House with the ability to where we can push and pass anything that we want. And that's what our focus needs to be. Because make no mistake about it, if we're 51-50, then it's always going to be a fight. But if we have a super majority, we can actually get these things done, and actually they will pass. Ending
actually, California is set to lose seats. California is set to lose representatives because they count illegal aliens on their census.
Yeah.
And with
Yeah,
all the illegal aliens being rounded up and removed, they're actually stand to lose about 4 or 5 seats.
Yeah, that does make sense. If they're losing a bunch of. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense because they don't fucking vote.
No, but they're counted in the census, and that's what.
With the districting, right? Yeah,
that's what
the
determines
districting,
how
right.
many representatives you have. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I know what you're saying. My bad.
Right.
They're set to lose representatives because they're losing population. I get what you're saying.
Right.
I was thinking the Democrats were going to lose a percentage. But
no, not specifically
right,
Democrats.
The
It's
state
just
itself.
the state itself is going to lose a number. So
Gotcha.
a lot from people leaving.
Yep.
Just leaving the state because it's unlivable there.
Yep.
And but a vast majority is the illegals that are leaving,
Gotcha.
are being rounded up or leaving on their own.
Oh, I get it. I misunderstood for a second.
Yeah.
Zoned out.
Why anybody in this country should know. Do you really want these corporations buying your elections? Look at what
Good
Elon
evening,
Musk
Mr. Blue
did.
Sky.
Elon, I'm going to say it. You know, Kamala Harris was winning by 10 points in 7 of the 8
Here we
battleground
go.
states the
She
day
was
before
not.
the election.
She was not, dude. Like, look.
Wasn't even close.
Look. Fucking idiot. Nobody liked Harris. We said that from day fucking one, and they never get these polls right with fucking Trump. They didn't get it right with fucking Hillary. And he's probably even lying about the polls. But yeah, there was I think he fucking gerrymanders with fucking polls he fucking checks out.
He does. I think I pointed this out before that during the election, where he kept putting up all these polls and stuff, and some of them weren't even polls; they were just surveys, radio station surveys and stuff like that. And the polls that he did put up that had Kamala either close or far ahead had oversampled Democrats by as much as 30% to get her, 5% lead. So nobody, even the Democrats. They couldn't get anybody to poll that they wanted to vote for Harris.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what he's talking about. There are polls that are like that, where they just wildly oversampled in order to get some numbers up. But he didn't look into that, of course, because he doesn't look into stuff. He just throws it up on the internet. He just sees it and repeats it.
It's amazing to me that he goes on. I was just thinking now, like, this show has like 2 million subscribers, and then he goes on Stuttering John's fucking podcast too, like on the regular.
Yeah.
It's not good if you actually want to run for office, my friend. You don't want to be on that fucking guy's podcast, but I digress.
And she was only winning by 2 points, which was Nevada. And then all of a sudden the next day, Trump sweeps everything. I'm still like, how did that happen? But once again, if all you're going to do is just accept it, then that's why the Democrats.
She lost. You accept it. Like, you don't look. My big issue with Trump is he didn't accept it. So you can't do the same fucking thing. She fucking lost. Nobody liked her, dude. Nobody liked her.
Democrats lose.
Yeah.
Fight back.
Are you worried about election rigging for the midterms?
When it comes to,
I am. I'll say it.
When it comes to this
election
regime,
deniers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, this is the stuff I don't get behind. So there is obviously what even kills me is the Democrats fucking are the most corrupt when it comes to their primaries. We've been over that. Like,
Yeah.
the Republicans don't really rig their primaries. The Democrats, I can't say they steal, but man, do they put their fucking finger on the fucking scale every way they fucking can to make sure the person that their donors want is the person that gets the nomination. They do that over and over again. So,
But I wouldn't say the Republicans don't rig their primaries. They just don't have a set of people that could just overturn it.
yeah, they don't have super delegates. Yeah,
But basically, it's you get, these are the guys that we want. So if you pick any of these guys, they're all the guys that we want in there. So
right.
so it's kind of rigged, from the beginning.
And what's ironic is Ojeda is the exact type of candidate that gets screwed over by the fucking Democrats in the fucking primary. Now, I think he's a little too cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for the average voter to like vote for anyway. But yeah, he's the one, like, no corporate money. I'm gonna fight for the whatever. I'm pro union. Those are the types that they fucking squash. So I don't know why he fucking licks the boots of the fucking Democrat establishment when they're just gonna fuck him over as hard as they can.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't think the DNC really wants to support somebody who's just talking about punching somebody in the face.
Yeah, right. That's not. It's not good. That's not a good look either. Yeah, point taken.
We know that they're going to. Donald Trump is going to cheat. He's going to do everything in his power to cheat. I think the only thing that could potentially help us is that he had a falling out with Elon Musk. But for all I know, they're going to become buddy-buddy again before the next election. And that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But, you know, nothing would surprise me, but that's why this is so important.
It seems like what he's doing too. So first of all, they're doing all kinds of, you know, trying to pressure states to get rid of mail-in balloting, the rigging of the districts, all of that sort of stuff. There's other things, executive orders he did earlier in the administration. But it also seems like he's setting up to just deny the results if they don't go well for him.
So and he also said it to Zelensky. He said something to Zelensky, which indicated
he said, well, Zelensky, you know, is still there because they don't have elections because they're at war.
Yeah.
And they're being occupied by Russia. The eastern portion of the country is occupied.
Trump was like, oh, if you're at war, you don't have to have elections. Interesting.
Little twinkle in his eye.
Yeah, that's in their constitution. It's not in ours. So he can't, like, I hate Trump, but he can't play that card because it's not in our constitution, you know, like it is the Ukraine.
And also, they're probably misrepresenting it. Trump probably said, wait, because you're at war, you don't have elections? Probably more of a, well, that's ridiculous.
Even if it was the other way, it's not a card he can fucking play, even if it is the way that they see it. So, yeah.
And make no mistake about it. Bing! The light bulb popped up there. Look, nothing would surprise me with this regime. And at the end of the day, Donald Trump is doing this because Donald Trump knows that the moment that he is
Sorry, just want to pause for one quick question. Yeah. I feel like I've been ignoring the chat a little too much. Mail-in balloting is ridiculous, says Nightwa. I see. This is where I disagree with you guys. I think expecting everyone to be able to show up at a certain spot just for one day. I mean, they're starting to open it up more, thankfully, like more like early voting and shit like that. But we've always had, like, Trump votes with he notoriously votes with mail-in voting. So
it was absentee voting, but everybody votes with mail-in voting because we get the ballots sent to us.
Right. Like I don't know. I have no fucking problem with it. I just think it's just, you know, it makes it easier to make sure like more people can vote.
I just kind of feel like that if you can't make the minimal effort to get to a spot to go vote, then you probably didn't make the minimal effort to know what you're voting for.
Well, I think a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're voting for, unfortunately. And then does that also mean like no overseas ballots because we have like troops?
Well, that's absentee ballots. Yeah, that's absentee, which Trump is all for. Going back to that, like we did the mail-in ballots because of COVID, right? Right. And it's just kind of started sticking around. So now all of a sudden it's like, oh, now it's a problem all of a sudden. Well, it wasn't a problem for, you know, the 100 or 200 years before that.
Right.
Before COVID.
Well, I just think more people could vote that way. At the same time, if we're going to accept that the absentee ballots are fine, then why don't we to be mailed, and why not the rest? You know, either
absentee ballots, you need to make a special request for an absentee ballot, and it's got to be a reasonable reason for an absentee ballot.
Longer relevant.
Sorry, I'm just saying, like,
be prosecuted.
Shut up, Jetta. Fuck.
And also, absentee ballots are counted only if there's a close race.
So I'm also saying, like, with us, I don't know what it is in every other state, but we still have mail-in voting where I am, but you do have to request the ballot. They don't just fucking send it to you. So I don't know. I have no problem with it. I actually don't usually do it. I actually vote in person, or where we are now, you can get a mail-in ballot, but you can also bring it to City Hall. There's like a special, you know, box and everything. That's what I've done recently because I just don't want my shit to get lost in the mail. But I feel better just placing it there myself. But it's still, you know, I didn't have to go through the whole process of the ID and the machine and all that. I just, you know, filled it out and dropped it off. So where I live, it's blue as fucking Stuttering John's balls, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway.
If we take back the House and if we take back the Senate, or even if we don't take back the Senate, when we pick up some seats, I believe that there will be some Republicans that are done with Donald Trump, and we could actually impeach him and have him removed.
All right, Chris Mack. So I will say something I'd never wanted to say. I am back in Mass, but there was a 2-year period I was in Rhode Island, and I had to request it. So I moved back to Mass 2 years ago. So last time there was when Trump and all that. I was in I was in Rhode Island. So
Also, last time there was like an election.
whatever it was, last time there was an election, I was living in Rhode Island, but back in Mass. So you could be right. This time around, maybe a whole new thing for me.
And the moment that happens, he's going to be in a world of hurt. The only reason why nobody is seeing the Epstein files is because he's all over them. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So my thing is bring.
I wish he would release
bring it.
this.
Somebody's got it.
I wish he would release this this incriminating evidence that everybody knows about.
Yeah, like obviously I want it, but I wish, where was this passion last year or 2 years ago? When Biden was president. Like that's the hypocrisy that drives me nuts.
Come on, Elon. I'm sure you got it. Somebody's got it.
Yeah,
Let
he
it
was
out.
saying.
And oh, by the way, you're gonna tell 1,000 FBI agents to comb through the files to remove Donald Trump's name? Isn't that called tampering of evidence?
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's part of what he's scared of if Democrats take back control, any kind of subpoena power, any kind of investigations, potential impeachment.
But shouldn't that be a litmus test for Democrats? We've talked about this, Crystal, that Elon, all the crimes he cut pediatric cancer research illegally. He cut Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
All these things wildly illegal. He had no authority to do it whatsoever. Did it, got away with it. Shouldn't it be a litmus test for Democrats to stand up and say, he should be prosecuted for this?
Yes.
Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, Trump, they should all be prosecuted for their endless crimes.
Yeah, and here you are. They act like they care about the people. What are you doing? You want to kill free lunches? I spent 4 years as an educator at the high school level. If it wasn't for those free lunches, a lot of those kids wouldn't get no food. Where I
Maybe
come
that's
from,
a parent's problem.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk to the parents about that.
Agreed, but I don't know. I am actually in favor of free school lunches because the kids are being punished for the parents' inadequacies or whatever problems they're going through. So,
I'm fine. As I said, most people, especially that are, we're just against.
this.
Yeah, we're just against universal free lunches. It's like if you're low income and your kid needs lunches, then yes, absolutely, that's fine.
Logan County, there's a hill behind the town of Logan, and I tell people in the summertime, when the kids get to sleep in late, they stay up all night playing their video games. Not those kids. Because if they don't get up at 6:30 and run down to the local middle school for that free breakfast and that bag of lunch, they don't eat today. And these are the people that are under attack from the Republican Party, and they don't realize
Sounds like child abuse on the part of the parents to me.
Yeah, look, man, it all depends on everybody's situation. I don't know if they don't have, obviously you got to find a way to get your kid food. But I don't, like I said, I don't know everyone's situation. They may just be that poor. They may be that neglectful. It could be either. But I have no problem, again, with
a couple hard-boiled eggs and an apple or a banana is pretty cheap and very nutritious.
It is. I'm just saying, I don't know how, but yeah, you got to find a way, whether you go without food just to make sure your kid gets food. I agree with that.
It's like they don't understand that that's what these people are doing. When you kill free lunches, when you cut SNAP benefits, you're hurting children out there. If we're going to require a child to spend 8 hours a day in a place where they're supposed to learn, shouldn't we feed them? And once again, a hungry child's not going to be able to focus on their studies. I watched young girls jumping over tables in a cafeteria because one of the cooking ladies walked out and put on a big metal tray of corn dogs. And I watched girls jump over tables to grab handfuls and stick them in their purse. And this was when I was new. And I looked at the guy and said, what am I watching?
That didn't happen.
And he was like, yeah.
Yeah, I hate when politicians tell these fucking stories.
Of all the things that never happened, that never happened the most.
This is what I will say. They probably did put it on the table and they're like, oh, corn dogs, and grabbed a couple and left. And it just gets exaggerated like a fucking big fish fucking story. They're stuffing them in their purses. They're knocking people over.
Well, yeah, you put a bunch of corn dogs in front of some kids.
Yeah.
They're going to want some corn dogs.
Yep. Chris, I actually disagree with you because Democrats, they're not really about the government being the main, they like to sell it to corporations and billionaires. That's the difference. Unlike communism, they don't want to, to run to run means in the stores and all that, that shit. They like to sell out to the corporate donors and let them fucking do it.
Yeah, they take it home. That's food for them tonight. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And now they're wanting to kill lunches for these kids. I mean, that's unacceptable.
And meanwhile, give another tax cut away to the rich.
Yeah, and they're 3 million in food stamp benefits. 3 million families are going to lose their food stamp benefits as well.
Yeah. And we're talking about people that are on the bottom. I mean, you're punching people in the nose that are the least of us. And it's the thing is that I'm so sick and tired of watching all these pastors and everybody coming together, putting their hands on Donald Trump. For what you do to the least of my brethren, you do unto me. So if you drop a bomb on a child, you're dropping a bomb on Jesus.
Yeah.
If you're removing the food capabilities for a child, you're removing the food capabilities for Jesus. Look, I'm not a super religious guy, but I do know what Matthew 25 is. And I do think that everybody should do their best to try to live a Matthew 25. And right now, we've got people that claim to be super religious, but they do everything against the teachings of Jesus Christ. And they need to be called out for that.
What makes you think, you said earlier that you think in the next term, Trump, maybe there'll be some Republicans who turn on him. Maybe you could actually get a conviction in the Senate, get him removed. What do you think would lead to their...
Not happening.
So let me make an assumption here. He's going to have a whole list of what he'll do differently and his proposed fixes for these issues.
No.
Oh wait, no, this is Ojeda. No.
Yeah.
It's just everything is bad. He has no solutions to anything. He just complains about it all.
Yeah, Thompson, that's what I'm trying to say. The government doesn't control. They want. Yeah. Sorry.
They're trying to do that in New York.
Oh,
and
they really?
Yeah, they want to do. Mamdani says he wants to do that in New York, and there was another state that just did it. I forget which state now, but basically, there's no food on the shelves in that grocery store because they're not able to supply it because it just basically failed miserably.
Yeah, I don't. It sucks because I like what's his face. I like some of his policies, but no, I'm not into that.
Eyes being opened.
Epstein files.
I think that the Epstein files is something that I think that's you're not going to be able to stand. Once that comes out, you're not going to be able to stand. And look, here's the thing too. Look, if there's Democrats that are on that list, arrest them.
There is.
Them too.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats are saying get everybody who is guilty of preying on these kids.
No, that's not what they're saying. Look, that's what people like me are saying. All right, that's what people like. We don't even Liquid and I don't even agree, but that's on a lot of things. But that's what we're saying, right? Maybe that's what Democrat voters are even saying, but that's not what Democrat politicians are saying. They're calling for the release because they know Trump's not going to release it. Now, Liquid and I have disagreed. I think he's on it. He thinks that Trump possibly on it, but doesn't think he is, but thinks he's getting pressure from higher powers. But I think that is true as well. But I think a lot of Democrats know that there are very important people, whether Trump's on it or not, that there are very important people on both parties, both sides, foreign leaders, all that. So they know Trump can't release it, just like Biden isn't going to release it. Not that he can't, he won't. Just like Biden wouldn't release it. So it's they're just pretending. They don't care, Richard. You can't be that dumb. I know you don't. I know you know that. I know you know that these corporate fucking sell Democrats know Trump isn't going to release it. So they're just going to act like they want to release. When if they really wanted it released, they would have been flipping out like this when fucking Biden was president, but they didn't.
Exactly. It's just a talking point at this point. It's just they know he's not going to release it. So we're going to get on him. Exactly what you said.
Should go down for this. Democrat, Republican, I don't care. But that's the thing is that, we're okay. If President Biden is on it, put him in jail, but he's not, but show the files.
But Bill Clinton is 100%.
If those files did not have Donald
99%, sorry, YouTube terms of service,
Trump's name on them, they would have been released long time ago. But because he's all over them, 2 decades of partying around with this guy. And this guy was absolutely a horrible human being. And so is Donald Trump. But once again, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that the people don't get to hear this because they care more about holding on to power in Washington, D.C. than they do making people get held accountable, especially if some of those are some of those 814 billionaires that we keep dumping money towards.
Yeah.
Everybody.
You have a lot of Republicans in your district. Do you see any of them kind of waking up, asking questions, questioning
do.
past support?
No.
MAGA is probably a bridge too far.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, when we went to the first Where's Richard Hudson, there were Republicans and independents, and they come up to me and said, I like what you had to say. I'm going to back you. I'm going to support you. I mean, I had an event that was thrown for me not too long ago that was independent voters. Thrown by a person who ran as an independent. So I believe that, you know, my message, the type of person that I am.
I really want to
think
see
President-
what one of his rally speeches is. I wonder if we can find it. We'll do that next week.
Yeah.
If I can find one, I want to find some of his rally speeches. I need to know what he's saying.
Like I actually believe he can get independents, but no, he can't get right wing or whatever, conservative, whatever you want to call it. He just
I said I believe he can get people to show up.
Right. That too. That
to listen
and
to what he has to say. No.
I even think
To
you can
you
get
there.
people to say I like what you said, but it doesn't mean they're gonna vote for you, dude. Like I don't believe that I'm gonna support you. Shit. It's kind of like when people shit on like Stuttering John or someone in the Dabbleverse. Then when you're face to face, you act all nice. It's like they went to your event. Like we're like, oh, I like some of what you said. Well, I like some of what a lot of people say. It doesn't mean I'm gonna support them because I may dislike a lot more what they fucking said. Just politeness, you know.
Resonates with a lot of these people. You know, I don't sit quiet. I'd rather take a beating than bow down to you. And I think a lot of people appreciate that.
I think it's the strength that attracts a lot of people. The strength of your message, the fact that you're confident, you don't
What
back down.
message?
And that's something that is just so rare among Democrats. And I think people.
You know what I think it is when he ran like in 2016, he hit these same shows. Like he hit like Kyle. They didn't have a show together, but Kyle had his own show. He went on Young Turks. I think they think that Richard is still that guy from 9 years ago, but he's not.
Yeah, because we went over that and he was talking about, you know, coal jobs and, you know, the working man. He was really talking about, you know, wanting to bring, you know, more jobs back, especially in like the coal industry and stuff like that, where he was West Virginia, right?
Yeah, he was West Virginia back then. Yep.
Yeah, and then you know, big, you know, a lot of the coal was removed. Stopped being mined, and he wanted to bring all that back because you know all these big coal mining towns went away.
Yep.
And yeah, he was really talking about, you know, actual solutions to stuff. Now he's just fucking everything Trump does is bad. What are you going to do about it? Well, everything Trump does is bad. Okay.
Yeah, like I probably said this before. When I first got into the Dabbleverse and saw John I'm like, he's got Richard Ojeda on this show. I was like, you know, kind of like excited. And then I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what happened to the Richard Ojeda I used to fucking watch on these fucking shows when he was in West Virginia? So if anyone's interested, maybe I'll throw that in the. We did a thing a while back. Shit, on old Richard Ojeda to see what he used to be like 9 years ago, because it was. Don't get me wrong, same delivery, same I'll punch you in the fucking teeth, but different stances on different messages going out than he's sending out now.
Be filled and you're filling it.
Yeah.
I'm a real Democrat.
Right.
And I tell people, you know,
See, old Richard Ojeda wouldn't have fucking said that.
real Democrat is an old school Democrat. I believe in unions. I think that if you have a job, it should be unionized.
Yep.
And I will stand on picket lines and throw down if I have to, you know, because those are the important people. And once again, you know, this regime wants to do away with unions completely because they don't like anybody to look at any boss and say, hey, we need safety on the job. We deserve to have better pay. You know, there's so many people in this country that are working nonstop and it's barely even making the ends meet, barely making them meet. And these are the people that are absolutely just on the verge of going under. And that's what's going to happen when you kill all these capabilities and you start cutting the capabilities from these people. You know, a poor family that relies on SNAP, when you get rid of those SNAP benefits for that family, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Because the truth is there is no plan for what are they going to do right now. But you're talking about, you know, when you got a mother that will literally go without and will starve herself the last week of every month just so her children can get food in their stomachs. I mean, it's a wonderful.
Wait, I thought he said that wasn't happening. I thought he said the children weren't eating.
Yeah, like I said, I That's what I mean. There's different people. I don't know. He's throwing it all out there. Like I said, I have all the respect in the world for people that do that, and I think they should get help. But then I said there's also probably mothers that neglect their kids, and I think the kids should get food, and fuck the mothers if they're doing that. But
A mother that sacrifices for her kids, but this is the United States of America. I've been alive for almost 55 years, and every single day of that, I was always told that America's the greatest country ever. Because we can whip you?
oh, come on. That's the line he said in that fucking that movie. He literally, like he's repeating, he was in a documentary by Michael Moore, and he literally said, America's the greatest country in the world. He's like, why? Because we can kick your ass? No, it's whip you. But yeah. He literally said this shit like fucking 9 years ago. So he's trying to bring back some of the hits. But still, you're not the same, Richard. You're not the same. You're a fucking clearly a blue no matter who fuck Donald Trump Democrat and not, this pro-union
100%.
working class dude you used to be.
Because we can drop more bombs on you? But we don't do nothing for our people. We tax the hell out of the middle class. We don't do anything for these people. Right now, the middle class are carrying this country. The middle class have been carrying this country since Ronald Reagan said trickle-down economics. It's about time we turn this around and let's let the billionaires carry the United States of America for the next 50 to 60 years. Because if we do, make no mistake about it, we will finally make America great. But it's not going to get great under this regime.
Especially with kicking 17 million people off Medicaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard, tell people where they can support your campaign.
You can go to ojeda4nc.com. We've got some really cool merch, but you can also donate to my Act Blue link. I do a nightly live called Ojeda Live. I try to do it every night.
I
at
thought merch
8:30.
was cringe.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Check
Ojeda.
that out, people.
Gotta check that out, guys.
And I say what I say.
He
If you
tells
like
it
what
like it is.
you like what you hear here, you're gonna like what you hear there.
Why didn't he plug
Yeah, I thought-
Stuttering John?
Yeah, wasn't recently saying that merch was gaming the system and making money from your position?
Yeah, that's honestly my stance. But obviously, it's not Ojeda's. Yeah, no, I hate that certain politicians are doing that. Can you imagine a world with Representative Ojeda under President Catalano? Could it happen? No.
No.
But what a world it would be.
Oh, it'd be fantastically entertaining.
It would be very entertaining.
It would be the most entertaining politics that I'd have ever seen in my life.
we would all of a sudden we might have one of the most popular shows in the Dabbleverse if that happened. We'd have so much to fucking cover, it wouldn't even be fucking funny. But
That'd
as
be
it is,
incredibly funny.
oh my god.
The country might not survive it, but it'd be incredibly funny.
Oh, that's a good hold on. That's a good question. I'll have to look into that. He seems like the type that would say that, but I don't want to say that he said that. Because I haven't heard either way.
I looked up his campaign finances recently, last week, and I don't think he is taking any PAC money other than the Turn Left PAC.
Right. I was gonna say he's one of those. I think he's like a Justice Democrat type where they don't take the corporate PAC money, or that like they take the Democrat PAC shit. But
the Turn Left PAC is his own PAC.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
He started it with his buddy John whatever something. It's kind of like his producer and co-host. It's like sometimes they do like John will make a video and Ojeda will put it up on his show, stuff like that.
We're good with the Ojeda shit. I know so much more about old Ojeda, and you know so much more about current Ojeda, so we can piece it all together.
Well, I was watching current Ojeda for a while because he's fucking insane, but it just kept pissing me off more than anything.
Right.
And then I made a couple of trial videos to see how I was going to cover Ojeda, and I just realized, dude, it's like I'm spending an hour and a half on 20 actual minutes of content on his show. And I was just like, I need to figure out something else in this, because it's just the same shit over and 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 over again. So it's like you do two shows and now it's like, well, I already said this.
Right. Yeah. Right. I remember I literally came up with like 2 songs for we were gonna do the Dabbling in Hypocrisy on Ojeda, and I had an intro and an outro. I think I did like 1 or 2 shows, and it was just there's like you can't do much with it, unfortunately. It's the same fucking hypocrisy bullshit every fucking 30-minute fucking live stream he fucking does.
Well, as I said, but with actual maybe 15 to 20 minutes of actual content.
Content, right? Yeah, I know. I remember I was watching. He does like the whole fucking I forget what he does, but he does like almost like a rundown at the beginning before he even fucking gets into anything. He's
Well, he does a roll call first.
roll call. Thank you. That's what I was trying to not rundown. Roll call. I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, and he only goes live for half an hour. Then fucking half of it's that fucking roll call fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and then the last like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes is the memes of the day or whatever.
Yeah. Oh god. All right. Yeah, you know what? We could probably end it there. The other thing I had brought up was the I killed a bunch of the other stuff when I saw how late we were running. I had the thing on the comics going to Saudi Arabia, but it's not important. He literally goes down the list. So just for people that don't know, which is probably most of you because I only heard it from here. I'll put it up real quick, but we don't have to watch the video. There are a bunch of comics going to Saudi Arabia for this big fucking thing, big fucking show, and it's there's fucking Bill Burr's going, fucking Dave Chappelle, fucking what's his face that jerked off in front of everybody.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's a fucking Boston, a Massachusetts guy. And I can't even fucking think of his name. But anyway, tons of big comics. And what was interesting is the hypocrisy of it, because obviously, like Dave Chappelle, not really hypocritical. You know, he's never really shies away from like money and all that shit. Louis C.K. Thank you, Nightwell. That was fucking embarrassing. But there are a handful of lefty comics on there who, like Bill Burr, has been critical of Saudi Arabia. I can't think of the guy's name, but there's a guy that's on the Young Turks all the time. He's going, and obviously Saudi Arabia is overpaying these people. So I thought it would just be an interesting thing to briefly talk about. Like, you got the Young Turks guy who probably doesn't make a lot of money, so this is probably the most he's ever getting paid for a comic thing. So did he put comedy first, or did he put his political beliefs first, and he put comedy and money first? So he's going to go there. But then,
absolutely. I mean, could you blame him?
Well, that's what I mean. It's a tough thing. I was wondering what I would do. I thought it'd be just interesting to try and figure out the Bill Burr stuff.
We're going too late.
No, we're not going to cover. I said the Bill Burr stuff is funny because not funny, but he's like rich, so he doesn't even fucking need it. So that was very disappointing. But where I was going to get at is he scrolls down the list. All of a sudden, there's Whitney Cummings, and I was like, "Oh, Ashley's sister."
Oh.
Yeah, so that's really the big reason I brought it up. I was like,
okay,
yeah. But I saw her on the list. But yeah, anyway, that'll do it. Fuck it, we'll need to watch it. Want to thank everybody for showing up and sticking it out. We really do appreciate it. We know politics is, a lot of people in the Dabbleverse seem to like politics to some degree. So we try to do the water cooler politics show. We're both into it, but as we said a million times, we used to be really into it, and I still go to rallies. I actually might be dragged to a rally tomorrow night. I don't want to go, so we'll see if I win or not. I actually want to enjoy my Labor Day, but yeah, we try and we'll like just say like
keep it light.
The more highly educated people at work, but we try to keep it light. We throw in some Dabbleverse shit and all that. So we're starting to see a lot of like new faces. So we really appreciate you guys showing up. And unlike John's show, we try to have different points of view, and we usually we'll agree a lot, but we disagree probably more than we agree. So, but we do it amicably, and we try and have a little fun with it. So we want to thank you. And Liquid Cryptid,
I just want to say, man, I just do not have the time nor the desire to get into politics again.
No,
I mean, as heavily as I was at one point.
Here's what's funny. Here's where I feel bad. When we were getting 5 people per show, I was literally watching all the shit, listening to the shit at work and blah, blah, blah. And now we're actually, starting to get 20, 25 people. And it's like, I haven't been watching it as much lately. I gotta get back into it. But yeah, there's just so much going on, and it's hard to, with life and kids and family, it's hard to get into it like we used to be. But we're still very much into it, and we like to, talk about it, and we bring the chats up, and you guys can contribute.
Well, it's a nice place for other people in the Dabbleverse who are actually have, political takes or are interested in politics to come where they don't have to do it on their show and lose a bunch of their audience.
Right. We'll take the hit here. Like that's really the whole reason why I started that I'll Try My Best show. I'm hoping to draw more people to the political show by, watching that. I'm like, hey, we got a politics show too. And hey, even though I'm a liberal, I'm not that bad type of thing. Which I
the least bad liberal on the internet.
Thank you. All right, Liquid Cryptid, tell the people where they can find your stuff, my friend.
Absolutely. Kick.com/liquid-cryptid. I have an automated stream sniping channel there. Stream snipe a bunch of shows you'll probably enjoy. I moved up the priority for Steel Toe. Steel Toe was the lowest priority because he streams so much. He'd just be jumping over everybody. But with the current HRO stuff that just happened, I bumped him up to the highest priorities to make sure that I capture everything that he gets. So be sure to check out my Kick channel. Once again, kick.com/liquid-cryptid. And when he goes live, it'll go live. It's all automated. And also don't forget to avail yourself of all the AI voices, absolutely free, AI images, live clipping. Use the clip command. And you can clip anywhere between, I think 15 seconds to 240 seconds. So that was just there. It'll automatically make a clip. It'll give you a link. You can go to the clip immediately. You can hit share on your social media right from there, and then download it and then edit it if you want. So it's really nice. You do it immediately as the stream is going. And then also catch me on my channel, Liquid Cryptid. I think it's underscore. I don't remember.
It's in the description, whatever it is. So if anyone wants,
it's liquid_cryptid. Yeah, down in the description. On the YouTubes, I've been trying to stream a lot more. I've almost made it 5 days this week.
Nice.
Of streaming. I ran out of stuff to talk about, but hopefully next week I got a few shows planned. So.
There you go. Yeah, check it out, man. He does a show, Dabbling in the Verse. It's a lot of Dabbleverse stuff. He does a good job. And the kick thing, it's Kick, right? I'm not crazy.
Kick,
right?
Yeah, kick.com.
Yeah. It is pretty cool. I've done it a few times. You get to it's almost like free super tips where he's got a bunch of AI voices and each person has a code, and you type in the code, then you type in what you want it to say, and in real time it'll say it. Chris, you'll love it. The most accurate voice on there is probably the Jake Hudson voice. It even trails off like Jake does, like when he loses thought. Like
although the KB voice I was using the other day, I think it's evolving or something.
Is it?
Because it's starting to sound exactly like before. I took a part where he wasn't really yelling that much.
Yeah.
But now it seems to get his yelling accurate.
Nice.
When you put an exclamation point.
So I wish Hamhead was here because he told Echo that try and get me on super tips because he's a Southerner and he wants to get me in my New England accent, my Boston accent, to say some Southern stuff. But he can do that for free on Liquid's Super Kick because we are on there as well. So
yep. Nick and I both have voices on my Kick channel.
So yeah, it's a good time. And as he said, he has certain shows, and whenever they go live, his channel automatically starts streaming. And like you said, you can pretty much do the his version of Super Tips, but for free. So anyway, check it out.
So you can all go over there and entertain each other.
Yep. you can comment on each other in all sorts of different fucking voices. All right. I am OG Mumbling Nick. Thank you. I am OG Mumbling Nick on both X and on YouTube. I do this show every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, dabbling in politics with Liquid Cryptid, and sometimes we have guests. And I also do another show called I Will Try My Best, which was supposed to be an interview show, and sometimes it is, but it's just turned into a whatever the fuck, my non-political show. All sorts of shit. Sometimes Brendan Deft and I will end it in a terrible duet like we did again the other night. When we sang Plush by STP. And I do that sporadically. I want to try and, as soon as my schedule gets a little more uncrazy, I want to try and pick like 2 nights a week where I do it. It's like sometimes I don't do it all week, then I'll do it like back-to-back days or whatever. But anyway, just be on the lookout for that if you're interested. Topics always change on that, and the political show is the one stable thing we got. But thank you guys. Until next time, I hope everybody's staying safe.
controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. N-I-C-K, mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air. Cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jones in for your fix, so that devil politics mix. And when I fudge, you let punk. Shut the fudge up and back the fudge up. While we fudge this track up. On your flags up, on your flags up. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, back out. Tell me what you're gonna duck now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Back up. Tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time. So you better get some better views and get fame up all the time. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabble is blasting out the political shit. The back and forth shit, put the bounce in the dabble pit. On your flags up, on your